This is Daily Blast Live. We're talking about what you're talking about.
Thrown under the bus.
No.
Always live, always real, always unpredictable.
I'm not okay with that.
It sounded good when I thought.
Log on and join our live conversation.
Yes, I don't like that. You're 100% right.
DBL starts right now.
Interesting. Welcome to DBL. It is Thursday, July 18th. I'm here with Stephanie, Tori, Brandon, and I am Sam. Let's get right into it. The president used his rally in North Carolina to again target four minority Democratic congresswomen. The crowd chanted against Ilhan Omar of Minnesota, who is Muslim. Watch.
Omar has a history of launching vicious anti-Semitic screeds.
Meantime, a protester interrupted the president holding two small printouts of Trump with Jeffrey Epstein with the words child rapist across it. He was removed with his hands behind his back. Now, a lot of people are calling the send her back chant racist. We want to hear from you, DBL Nation. Do you believe it is? And is this rather something that you would just expect from a Trump rally? Go to dblvote.com. Weigh in. And Tori, this just in. So President Trump, just from the Oval Office, said that he did not agree with that chant and that he tried to talk over it to somehow.
Do you want to play the clip again?
Well, let me. I timed it.
Got it.
It's about 15 seconds where he actually stopped talking. So again, I'm glad he's now denouncing it, but actions speak louder than words. You actually stopped talking for 15 seconds to embolden that chant, rather than when we saw John McCain call it what it was, if you want to repeat that.
Yeah, this is a great point that you bring up. If you guys remember, picture this in your head. John McCain, when he was running for president, as a Republican, was asked by a woman at a town hall that Obama's a Muslim and what do we do? And in mid-sentence, he gently took the mic back and said this: no ma'am, Obama is an American and a good man, and we just have different opinions. And that was when civility was normal in politics, right? So I'm glad that you just told me he's denounced it. Piers Morgan, who's a major...
But he should have done it then.
Exactly. A major Trump supporter said it's bordering on fascism. I just want to give the audience a real quick explanation while you're thinking, is this racist or not, or if you have to think that. One, the crowd coming up with that on its own and him not saying it is super different than him saying it. Now we're getting a mob mentality. Two, send her back is super different than she can go back, because send is forcing someone back without their wanting to. So I just want us to see it grows day by day. This is a huge jump in terms of racism, fascism, tyrants, dictatorship. Now we're talking Hitler, Mussolini type of things.
And when you go on to vote on this megaphone, which we encourage DBL Nation to get involved with these type of conversations, because it's uncomfortable for certain people to have these conversations. Have you ever experienced racism in your life before you click that button? I want you to sit and think that. Or is it something where you're like, why is that group of people, why are they complaining again? Why do they always using that R word, the racism word? But I continue to see both sides of America just drift
divide.
apart.
But
there's no bipartisanship that's going to go on, because you look on Twitter, half of Twitter is hashtag I stand with President Trump, hashtag I stand with Ilhan.
Unfortunately, I don't think that we're going to change many people in their views, people that are older, right?
Yeah.
However, I look at the younger generation who may have grown up in a house that does not fit our ideology, but by hearing what is right and what is wrong, we may be able to change the younger generation.
Yeah.
So I think that's important. But let's take a look at what our DBL Nation is saying. So 56% of you right now believe that chant is racist. 44% of you believe it is not racist. So we still have a clear disconnect, but we want you guys to actually continue to vote. So we will give you the result in a little bit. We want to continue to hear from you, and we'll see if that number changes. So keep at it, DBL Nation. Keep at it.
Please do.
Right now, a dangerous heat wave is hitting the U.S. Let's get to Kelly Schubert with the news at the moment. Kelly.
Sam, officials say this intense heat wave is not something to mess around with. Get this weekend in D.C., it could feel as hot as Death Valley, and there's no escaping it. It's going to be a coast-to-coast roast with over 200 million people under some sort of heat advisory. So, DBL Nation, how will you stay cool during this dangerous heat wave? Let me know using the hashtag dbltake.
Very scary. Thank you, Kelly. Thinking about everybody out there. Well, everyone, come on, DBL Nation, you've seen it. Maybe some of you are obsessed with an app that ages you. Millions have used FaceApp, including celebs like the Jonas Brothers. But now a leading lawmaker says it could be a national security risk. Turns out Russians own the app, and everyone who's used it may have compromised their personal photos and data. Senate Minority Leader Chuck Schumer has called on the FBI to investigate. Stephanie, you're shaking your head here.
Yeah.
Are you shocked by this?
No, not at all.
Did you download it?
No, right, none of us on this panel actually did. We all played the game, but through someone else's phone. Thank you, producers.
That's true. That's true.
But this is something that we're all victim of. So whenever we update our iPhone, whenever we put our information into Facebook or Instagram, we are technically signing away a lot of personal information to these big conglomerates. And the thing is, Facebook says they don't, but they can sell it on. This is how companies make money, to like different marketing schemes, and that's how we get targeted on things like social media. And when you get cold calls, it's because we've given all our information freely away to see what we're going to look like in a few years.
We're the sheep, Tori.
We're this, ready? We're and the Russians are like, yes. I mean, it's like, it was the easiest thing to do, and they have our age progression for 25 years.
Wow.
So they don't, or 40 years, so they don't need to ever do this again.
Unbelievable.
You want to get Americans, just put a hashtag on it. We always want to be
with
trending.
A selfie.
Hashtag and a selfie. You got America.
Sign us up,
but
right?
You're saying America, everyone in England, my feed was full of it in England too.
Okay.
Not just America.
Anyone who speaks English.
Think twice. Think twice before you participate in those fun selfie games.
Yeah.
Okay, well, the military, this is a very disturbing story. The military has a long history of researching some strange and unusual weapons. But now one politician is concerned that they have weaponized ticks. Yes, you heard me right. Those little bugs that can carry Lyme disease. And now the House has ordered the Pentagon to divulge whether ticks were once used as biological weapons. Do you believe that the military did this, Brandon?
Absolutely. I mean, this country alone has a long history of unethical human experiments. I mean, just look in 1953, they were doing tests on pregnant women to see the effects of radiation and iodine on babies, on pregnant women. And then you can go back as far as the Native Americans when there was blankets with smallpox given to them. So I see it. We've seen this, especially in the black community with the Tuskegee experiment.
Which just recently we finally gave an apology. You probably remember, President Clinton, he apologizing to some of the survivors of the Tuskegee experiment. By the way, lasted 40 years.
Yep. Tell people what that is.
So from the 30s to the 70s, first of all, they told around 600 young black men in Alabama that they would receive free health care. They didn't tell them if they had syphilis. Some of them were injected with syphilis. They weren't treated for the syphilis when it could have been cured by just giving them penicillin. And then not only did some of them die horrific deaths from a preventable, curable disease, but their wives contracted it, right? Their children were born with it. Talk about inhumane, torturous practices that were funded by the government, the CDC, and the public health services. Wow. So completely inhumane, and I mean, I guess we'll have to wait and see.
And there is, Sam,
I just don't understand how this is ever allowed. I mean, I just don't understand. Tori, how is this possible? How do these people not go to prison? How does the government assign this? Like, what the hell?
Well, first of all, it's under highly classified national security. So we don't really know because it's so classified. And they go into rooms called SCIFs, and SCIFs can't be recorded. You can't do anything, and it's a private conversation. And these things, sometimes they say it's for the good of the military. Now, Nixon...
They always prey on the people that are struggling. It could be, people of color.
But they have no power. Exactly.
Such
now, Nixon banned biological weapons, but that doesn't mean that they're gone. And just so you know, there's been an estimated 300,000 to 437,000 more cases, new cases diagnosed, and a 20% uptick, no pun intended, with ticks.
Wow.
So they're saying they might have dropped them in for potential enemies to do a test to see if it works.
Final thought.
Out of all of us, how many people do we know here? We all know someone with Lyme disease.
Yeah.
I do.
There you go.
And she's not the same.
No.
Right.
Storm Area 51.
Oh, gosh.
What do you think's going on back
It's
there?
got nothing to do with Area 51.
Right. Let's get to this next story. Comedian Kathy Griffin is throwing major shade in an interview with BuzzFeed. She talks about her relationship with CNN anchor Anderson Cooper. She says he won't make up with her after the whole Trump head fiasco, but she might have taken it too far when she talked about his late mom. Watch.
I
for
really
someone.
was really in love with Anderson's mom, the great Gloria Vanderbilt, and she let me call her Glo Vandy, and she gave me so many life lessons. We would chat, and I actually kind of knew her better than Anderson in a way. And I hear her voice today saying things like, you know, your whole life can change in one phone call, and that's true.
What a dig. Listen, and I love me some Kathy Griffin. I've seen her perform in LA. I saw her perform in Denver. This crosses the line. It makes me look at her differently.
Yeah.
Because you can say, I knew her very well. I love her. I hold her near and dear to my heart. But by saying I knew her better is a dig. And he just lost his mom. Way to kick someone while they're down.
And not only that, I completely agree. If you watch the documentary between Gloria and Anderson, it's phenomenal on Netflix, I believe. And they did have a hard relationship, right? But they got past it. So his older brother jumped out a window in front of his Gloria Vanderbilt. So there was this sort of tension. They never talked about it. She's a socialite. They had all this money. They never talked about it.
Wow.
So he
Way
worked
to pour
on it.
salt in a
yeah,
wound.
they like worked on this relationship.
I think me and Stephanie are going to disagree with you two on this one because I feel as though this woman had 2 sons. You know, she didn't have a daughter. So I'm thinking Kathy
Right,
Lee.
you're not her daughter.
Why do I keep calling her Kathy Lee? Kathy Griffin is talking about how they bonded maybe on a mother-daughter type
Then
level.
say that.
So I know
Then
her.
leave
I know her better than Anderson in a certain way. In certain ways, she
Leave.
said.
I
No.
don't think she meant it in a malicious way, but I think she should have been smarter with her words.
She is
No,
smarter. She did that
she
purposely.
is hurt that her and Anderson have not made up.
But then this
She
isn't
is-
going to help that situation.
Right, no,
it's going to
she's
make it worse.
antagonizing
That was
and
vindictive.
poking. She doesn't. She is it with Andy Cohen and Anderson Cooper. She's upset about what happened, and she's poking a bear. And it's not nice when someone's grieving. It's
Well,
not
no,
a nice
this is
thing to do.
the loss of his mother. It's the most important.
This is a low low.
Sam, you have
This is a
different
low, low.
relationships with different people.
You don't bring the other person involved. You
Yeah.
can say she was like a mother to
Don't
me,
compare.
and I believe I was like a daughter to her. You do not say I knew her better than her own son.
In a way, I actually knew her
say
better.
that. No.
There's
What's wrong is
conversations
wrong.
with
You would
there are different
disagree if someone said
conversations
that
they
about
had
you.
that her and Anderson didn't.
You
have.
don't have to bring Anderson into it. He's grieving.
Don't
That's
compare.
his mother. Their blood. She carried him. You do not go there. You do not. You're hurting someone to bolster yourself, and that's where it's wrong.
Okay.
So, in my opinion. But chime in, DBL Nation. We always love to hear from you. DBL is live. Coming up, The Lion King is finally out, and it's getting heinous reviews. So we're going to go one-on-one with a movie pro. She's going to give us her DBL take. And you, the viewer, are our 5th host. A city in California wants to ban words like manpower and chairman and replace them with gender-neutral words. So DBL Nation, has the PC police struck again? Your comments about that coming up next.
Introducing the Right Now sale from Vistaprint.
Hi there, DBL Nation. Kelly Schubert here with the DBL Digital Team. I'm tracking all the breaking and trending news for you right now, but I think we're going to go to the desk and see what's going on with our host. Let's go.
Yeah, so you can pick it up over IT.
Hey, guys.
There, we have to take it out. It's a whole, it's a whole thing. Yeah.
We can come over here.
Yeah.
We're trying to get comments right now because we are having an internet issue in our studio. But
Okay.
let's see, they're pending. So why don't we just?
I got one.
Okay.
56, It's Me on YouTube says, I'm old and from the South. I found the crowd chant mentally racist, disgusting, and opposite of following. Do unto all others as you want done to you. Here's what I'm scared about, Sam, is the innocent civilians that are going to feel the wrath of something like this. Let's just talk about the congressional softball game that was shot up. Let's talk about the man who was sending bombs. Let's talk about the news agency outside of Baltimore that was shot up. The innocent people are the ones who are going to get hit.
And a new poll just showed that we are more divisive now than we ever have been politically. I mean, we've always heard, Republican versus Democrat, but they say the vitriol is more outstanding today politically, I guess, according to statistics, than it's ever been. So that's alarming. But again, when you see a large group of people chanting to send an American citizen back because you don't agree with that person's ideology, that is fascism. That is the definition of it. So that's why you have Piers Morgan, who is a good friend of Trump's, who has supported Trump on many of his policies, saying this has crossed the line. And even President Trump now in the Oval Office is backpedaling, saying this is wrong. But he never stopped it. So for him to say, I tried to talk over it really quickly, that's a lie. For 15 seconds, we timed it. Actions speak louder than words. You sat back to allow those chants to take place, and then you never denounced it, like when we saw McCain, during those presidential debates where he denounced racism. So
This is scary.
I would say as well, like, I'm not saying this is what happened, but these rallies are so heavily monitored and planned and executed. It wouldn't surprise me that if people were actually put in place to start a challenge.
Welcome back to DBL. It is time for Fifth Host when we talk about what you're talking about. Berkeley, California is banning gender-based words from the city codes. Manhole will now be maintenance hole. Policeman and policewoman will now be police officer. And no more chairman. It's now chairperson. So DBL Nation, will replacing gendered language in city codes make a difference to you? Take it away, Brandon.
All right. Deborah from Facebook says there are more important things that should be addressed in Berkeley, like the homeless population. I don't care about what a manhole should be called. Whoop, whoop. It's actually called a maintenance hole, Deborah. DC Police got you there. Yeah, I mean, I agree with that. There are other pressing issues that should be addressed, but after the first time we did this, I'm thinking about the power of language. But there are certain things like, instead of saying a wife beater to talk about that tank top, let's address those type of harmful languages that okay.
Agreed.
Yeah, I agree.
Thank you.
Cantrell from Facebook says there are going to be several people who feel this is nonsense. Half are good old boys and the other half are complacent women. Shouldn't we want to be more accurate in our use of language? Cantrell, I think I might be in love. Here's the thing. With the manhole thing, I could care less. It's a weird word anyway, let's be honest. But when it's about objects, I'm fine. When it's about jobs and how far you can go, I do think you should change it, because I think a chairman was in place when there were mostly men, and they still are. So why not make it chairperson? And I think in 5 years, no one's going to even notice the difference.
Mike from Facebook says, my sister and I are both firefighters. We always wanted to be firemen like our dad. I don't think the word ever hindered her, nor did the fact that the firefighters in our family are men. You know what this says to me? Well, first of all, thank you for your father for his service, and also you guys.
Yeah.
But this says to me that your dad is incredibly empowering and inspirational, and he said, you know what, you can be and do whatever you want to be in, whoever you want, whatever career you want. So to me that says just the fact that it was firemen wasn't really an issue within your family because you were totally encompassed in that. But for other women, that's not always the case. And I think when it comes to objects, like manhole, doesn't really matter.
I don't think it matters.
But certain careers, then yeah, I think it would be more empowering to everyone.
Good point. Jillian from Facebook says when it comes to jobs or careers, it makes perfect sense, but it's totally silly to change anything else. Well, I don't want to echo exactly what Steph and Tori just said and what you said. So I agree.
All right, Dave from Facebook says, really, what a waste of time. Some people spend way too much time looking for a problem. Look, I understand what you all are saying, but I want to be a chairman. I want to be a chairman. I want to own my own company and be a chairman. I don't want to sit there and be like, I don't want to be a chairperson. I'm a man. I want to be a chairman.
But I want to be a chairman, but I'm a
you
woman.
Be, so be a chairwoman. So be a chairwoman.
That's
You're
not
a
the term.
CEO.
That's not the term.
Well, create your own term then. Like, create their own term then.
But
like,
those terms were created when only men were in the career.
But now that it's 2019 and you can be CEO of your own company, you can be Tori Schulman, chairwoman of Puns Incorporated.
But that's not the term that we gravitate to.
If you go in the dictionary, the head of the company is called a chairman. I want to be that, but I'm a woman.
We don't
so
use chairperson. Now we're switching it to chairperson.
Maybe we should.
So switch it to chairwoman.
All right. It stops here. Thank you for writing in, DBL Nation. Quick reminder, you can still vote in our poll. We want to hear from you. So again, is the send her back chant racist, or is this what you'd expect at a Trump rally? So please go to dblvote.com, weigh in. We will share the results at the end of the show. Let's look where you're at right now. So it's at 63% believe it's racist. 37% of you believe it is not racist. There's still a disconnect. Continue to vote, and we'll look at those results later on. Well, Paul McCartney has a new project in the works. Raquel Villanueva has news at the moment. Raquel.
And that's right, Sam. Not only is Paul McCartney writing his very first musical, it's based off of one of the most famous Christmas movies of all time, It's a Wonderful Life. If being in the Beatles took him to Abbey Road, his new path is leading him straight to Broadway. At 77, Paul never pictured himself getting into musical theater. It just took finding the right team to make it sound like fun. In the 1946 classic film, a banker is ready to end his life, but a guardian angel steps in and shows him his worth. It's a Wonderful Life. The musical is set to launch next year.
If there's anyone that loves the theatre needs to go and see next year, it's going to be this. Paul McCartney is one of the biggest musical geniuses of our time.
It's true.
This is going to be sensational.
Guess how old he is?
77.
77.
Okay, I'm just making sure everyone has it. Coming up on DBL, some critics are calling the new Lion King a disaster. Well, we're going to get an expert's opinion coming up next.
The tea, y'all. Welcome back to Beauty Blast. I'm Jure for the Slay, and today we're talking beauty gossip, y'all. And this is one of my favorite topics for this week because my girl Lady Gaga just announced a cosmetic line, y'all. Yes, y'all heard correct. Queen Mother Monster herself, Lady Gaga, just announced her brand new cosmetic line called House Laboratories. Now this is amazing because all those little monsters out there have been thinking that she was going to start a new product line for a couple years. Now we really got down to spring of 2018 last year when we were looking around and saw that she was actually announcing things on social media. And just recently at the Met Gala, she actually towed on in on a house wagon tow. Very discreet, Gaga. I see what you did there, girl. Now, just recently, she dropped on social media a beautiful brand new video for her new line, House Laboratories once again, and it's only being featured on Amazon, but is going to be available to over 9 countries. Now, these little products are actually not going to be that small. They're actually coming in packages, kind of like the Kylie lip kit dealio. You see, there's going to be a lip gloss, a lip pencil, and a glitter, or a lipstick, a pencil, and a gloss. There's going to be a couple different combinations. However, what stuck out for me is not just the products themselves, it was the marketing, guys. As a professional artist, I see so many over-edited, airbrush, blurred over makeup looks that just aren't that realistic. And coming from someone who works in the community, I see what y'all doing out there. However, with Lady Gaga's new line, House Laboratories, she really stood true to the products and didn't show overly edited looks. There was every type of person imaginable in there, from Asian, Latina, Black, white, Caucasian, non-binary, whatever gender you want to be with, girl, they had it in there too. They were showing it on men, they were showing it on women. It was so beautiful, and I love that she gave a quick little mic drop and said, when the world doesn't need another beauty line, we're doing it anyways. Ooh, Lady Gaga, girl, you got my points together.
Mom Garrett is here to help us out. She's teamed up with Tubi, a streaming service, to give us a preview of The Lion King, which is out today. Take a look.
I am so excited about July 18 because that is when The Lion King is coming out. My goodness, though, just how the CGI and animation has grown in that time.
Oh, everyone, calm down. We're here. The backup has arrived.
We've got Jon Favreau, who actually plays Happy in Spider-Man Far From Home, funnily enough. He's taking the director reins with this one. But the kind of voice acting that we've got, Simba, played by Donald Glover, we know him as Childish Gambino. James Earl Jones is reprising his role as Mufasa. Beyonce playing Nala. And I am a Beyonce all day kind of gal. And I can feel the love tonight.
You have to take your place as king.
I can feel the love, guys. But if you do want a kids movie that you can watch for free on tubi.tv, it's called Are We There Yet? It stars Ice Cube. He's trying to impress his girlfriend, so of course the best thing to do is to go on a road trip with them. Hilarity ensues. Daily Blast Live, back to you.
We will be right back. Thanks, Maud.
Promotional consideration is brought to you by This is not.
I guess I kind of have a question for everyone. Am I on live right now? Is that a yes? Hello? Hi. Yep. Cool.
Check.
Yeah,
1,
we
2,
are
3.
checked. Oh, I love. Okay, right now Travis is wearing a shark shirt. You can't see it, but it looks fantastic. So my story was on Paul McCartney having a new musical out based off It's a Wonderful Life. And yesterday I did a story on Cats becoming a movie, which no one seemed to be into in the studio except for me. So I want to know, do you think it works to take a musical and make it a movie, or is it easier to take a movie and make it a musical? And this stopped Leo in his tracks, so what do you think? Because no one seemed very enthusiastic about Cats.
I tried
but
that.
I don't know. Musical to movie, no. Movie to musical.
Movie to musical.
Like Lion King, for example. Great musical. Great.
Yeah, actually.
But I feel like musical to movie kind of takes away from the musical.
But Chicago
aspect.
worked. I feel like Chicago made it work.
We have differing opinions on
Well,
that.
Chicago won Oscars.
Yeah,
They won
you're
an
right,
Academy
you're right,
Award.
you're right.
So I think it
You're
totally
right.
can. DBL Nation, chime in. I can't think of, what are the other movies? So Lion King.
Aladdin was great as a
Aladdin
musical.
was good as
Great.
a musical too. Have you seen any musicals that once were movies first and then became musicals? And then do you like any musical that became a movie better than the musical?
Oh, Rent? Was Rent a musical that became a movie?
Yes.
Okay.
And the musical I think is better.
I agree.
So it's a tough subject. It's kind of hard to like
Yeah,
switch
that's a
them
little
up.
hard to navigate.
Yeah, so let us know and we will maybe read the comments in the next break.
Yeah,
See ya.
let us know.
Welcome back to DBL. All show long, we've been asking you to vote in our online poll. Is the send her back chant racist, or is this what you'd expect at a Trump rally? Well, the results are in. Let's take a look, DBL Nation. So not much has changed from your initial vote. 67% of you believe it is racist. 33% of you believe it's not.
But I will say, Sam, yesterday when we asked
It was
about
50-50.
Trump, it was like 50-50. So we've seen a significant jump in people that are not okay with this.
Okay.
From our DBL Nation.
Yep, that is progress. Thank you, DBL Nation. We love hearing from you. We will see you same time, same place tomorrow. Have a great day, guys. Bye-bye.
Hi there, DBL Nation. Kelly Schubert here with the DBL Digital team. I'm tracking all the breaking and trending news for you right now, and I do have a trending story for you. Elizabeth Hurley, I love her from the movie Austin Powers, but obviously she's been in many things. Her son, Damien, I have to show you a picture. Alex is going to pull it up for us. Look at how much they look like each other. It is insane to see the resemblance. I just think it's incredible. He is the most beautiful human being I've ever seen in my life. Obviously, Liz Hurley is also a beautiful human being. But yeah, he's following in his mom's footsteps. He's doing some modeling. He signed with an agency in London, and these are actually his first model photos. But yeah, I just think it's awesome to see how incredible they look like each other. I love to see celebrities and their kids, to see how they look, and I just think it's fun to see how Damien looks so much like his mother. Anyway, DBL Nation, if you look like your mom and dad or one of your sons or daughters, please send us a picture. We'd love to see the side-by-side of you guys. Send it in to info@dailyblastlive.com. Anyway, we've got a great show coming up for you, so get ready. Bye.
This is Daily Blast Live. We're talking about what you're talking about.
Because everyone's talking about this.
Always live, always real, always unpredictable.
You think this hair just naturally stays like this?
Log on and join our live conversation.
I can't believe I'm saying this. I do agree with you.
DBL starts right now.
3, 2.
Welcome to Daily Blast Live. It is Thursday, July 18th. I'm here with Erica, Jeff, Al, and I am Sam. Let's get started. The president used his rally in North Carolina to again target four minority Democratic congresswomen. The crowd chanted against Ilhan Omar of Minnesota, who is Muslim. Watch.
Omar has a history of launching vicious anti-Semitic screeds.
Meantime, a protester interrupted the president, holding two small printouts of Trump with Jeffrey Epstein with the words "child rapist" across it. He was removed with his hands behind his back. A lot of people are calling the "Send Her Back" chant racist. DBL Nation, we want to hear from you because there was a disconnect yesterday when we asked about his tweet being racist. Do you believe that this chant was racist, or do you think this is just a Trump rally and what you would expect to go to one? Go to dblvote.com. Weigh in. Justin, Erica, President Trump has addressed that chant in the Oval Office. He said that he denounces it. He does not think it's okay, and that he tried to quickly speak over it because he felt uncomfortable. In so many words, that's what he said. Well, I watched it back. For 15 seconds, he stopped to allow them to chant. So words matter. Actions speak louder than words, though. So it would have mattered if in the moment he called it what it was, denounced it like what we saw what McCain did when that one woman called Obama an Arab, and he said, hey, he's an American. I don't agree with his policies, but let's be respectful.
Right. Yeah, it would have meant more. It would have meant something had he denounced it in the moment. Having people tell you that it was the wrong thing to do to let it go doesn't mean anything. So this means nothing to me.
Where do we go from here, though? Where do we go? Because you even have Piers Morgans out there who are friends with President Trump, who has agreed with President Trump's policies in the past, saying, hey, this is crossing the line. This is fascism. Where do we go from here?
I don't know. I think this is our present, and it's going to be our future for quite a while. And I think we need to learn how to move around in this space. I mean, obviously, it might not be the majority. Obviously, he lost the popular vote, but he got in through whatever means you want to talk about, the Electoral College. And unfortunately, this is what happens when somebody that did not win the popular vote still wins. We've seen this once before, obviously with George Bush and Al Gore. And this is our reality. And I mean, the Senate is controlled by Republicans. There's a staunch Republican in the White House.
We have Republicans denouncing it. We even
4 or 5.
Yeah.
Not this chant. I'm not talking about his tweets anymore. There's something different about, believe me, they're both blatantly racist. You know I've said that from day one. But I'm even looking at our viewers right now. Yesterday it was 50-50 when we were talking about Trump's tweet. Now we're seeing 65%, and we're going to continue this vote, so continue to the vote. Now we're seeing, Jeff, 66% saying it's racist versus 34% saying it's not. We can even have our own little barometer with our viewers here. Our viewers are different than what they thought yesterday.
Right.
So what's changed?
I don't know. This is something that you'd see like in the 1860s rally, like the gangs of New York. That's something you'd see in the streets, what they were chanting at that rally. That's not right.
That's a great point.
It's mob mentality. One person starts it and everyone gets excited. It's up to the president, whoever's leading that party, to shut that down. You can't lead anybody with that type of rhetoric. You don't want that. You know what I mean? So we do need to get a grip here. We do need to get some control. I was thinking about this last night and about, I am empathetic towards, women that, or whatever. I'm just speaking in general about the squad.
Right.
And I was listening to Martin Luther King because I listen to positive stuff all the time. We are missing a Martin Luther King type person in our era right now. What he had to go through, again, it was the darkest of his time to come up with all these positive, inspirational words to speak of in front of people that hated his guts, hated him for his color, hated him for whatever reason. And in that, he stood and was positive. We do not have one person in sight right now like that, and we need someone to come and take that position for us as Americans.
I think what you're saying is probably the biggest issue. We have lost our history.
and we think our history was a million years ago. It was literally like yesterday. Tonight, I'm going to moderate a film called Emmanuel. People really need to check this film out. It's about the Emmanuel 9, and it starts with our history. We don't recognize the fact that racism, institutionalized racism in this country, is still going on because we give people an inch. Is it racist? Is it not racist? And they take a mile. It's full-blown racism. I'm so petrified by the idea that we've lost this history because we're destined to repeat it. Do you know the last lynching was in 1980? 1980. Like, we're not talking about things that happened 50 years ago. That's the reason why it's so important that we understand the history of this country, the context of this country, why people have been emboldened to walk into black churches and shoot them up again after generations of this. You know, South Carolina was considered the Confederate Disneyland. People to this day, they are getting revenue because they're going to visit places like Emmanuel Church because they want to know what it was like for black people to call them ma'am and sir and what it used to be like. Racism is a Disneyland.
Yeah.
Today.
I know.
Right now.
Wow. Well said, Erica. Let's look at the viewers one more time. 64% believe it's racist. Again, it's, as Erica just said, it's so weird to even phrase that question. 36% of you believe still that it is not, but it is a difference from yesterday's 50-50. And continue to vote. We're going to revisit the vote and continue this conversation. Well, right now, a dangerous heat wave is hitting the U.S. Let's get to Kelly Schubert with the news at the moment.
Sam, officials say this intense heat wave is not something to mess around with. Get this weekend in D.C., it could feel as hot as Death Valley, and there's no escaping it. It's going to be a coast-to-coast roast with over 200 million people under some sort of heat advisory. So DBL Nation, how will you stay cool during this dangerous heat wave? Let me know using the hashtag dbltake.
Wow, very scary, Kelly. Make sure to check on your neighbors, check on the elderly, check on your animals. All right, so you've seen this app all over your Facebook, Instagram feed, globally. Everyone seems to be obsessed with the app that ages you. Millions have used FaceApp, including celebs like the Jonas Brothers. But now a leading lawmaker says it could be a national security risk. Turns out Russians own the app, and everyone who's used it may have compromised their personal photos and data. Senate Minority Leader Chuck Schumer has called on the FBI, Jeff, to investigate. So what have we done?
This is crazy.
I'm glad I didn't download the app.
Well, we don't know where. I mean, this information is new to us. Our cell phones, our apps, our everything. We don't know who's getting this information and what they could do with it. We're just like, hey, let's post a stupid picture to the internet and I'll have fun for a day. You don't know where all the information is going and what they're doing with it, how it's going to affect our election, our lives, or whatever. You know what I mean,
this is in the timeline of human history. We're going to look back at this digital age. I mean, we're really like cavemen. We're really like almost like a monkey with a flamethrower. Like, we don't know what we're doing yet.
Right.
And 100 years from now, our kids will be like, can you believe they uploaded their credit card information to the internet? Like, they're gonna fall out of their chairs laughing. Just like when we hear that like seat belts weren't standard in cars. We're like, what? It's going to seem crazy, but unfortunately, we are the guinea pigs for this technology, and we're going to suffer the consequences, whether it's your identity taken, whether it's your credit card. I mean, do you know anybody that hasn't been a victim of credit card scams or fraud or having your ID taken? I know I have.
It's going to get worse.
It's going to get worse.
I think it's going to get worse.
It'll get better.
Then it'll get better.
Not for us, though, Sam.
All right, this next story just warms my heart. A 50-year-old message in a bottle has been found, and the man who wrote it has been located. But get this, he wrote the message when he was only 13, while his family was on a ship emigrating from England to Australia. He was looking for a pen pal when he wrote the letter and threw it overboard. He's now 63 years old, Erica. I mean, what would 13-year-old Erica write in a bottle? What would your message have been? Come on, Erica.
I found some of my old writings, Sam, and I was in a really dark place.
So what would it have said? Like, rescue me? What would it have said?
I don't know. I was like, I was talking about how when you grow each year, you become a different person every day. And
that was planting the seed for the Erica now.
Like, I was like, who?
You sound poetic.
Does anybody else find this?
Anthony read it, and he's like, wow, you were really deep at 12, 13 years
Do you think this is embarrassing?
What?
I think this is the most embarrassing story we've ever. Like, dude, you're on a ship. Go meet other people, bro.
He's 13.
First of all, I'm glad we tracked him down. We should get him for littering. Aren't you all about the
I
C's?
am. Listen.
Okay, so he littered. We found out where he is. Let's attack him. Let's get him.
Al Jackson.
Lock him up.
Al
all
Jackson,
right?
he's
poisoning our seas. He's 13. He should man up, walk around the ship, make some friends. Don't just throw it in the ocean.
Did you tell a 13-year-old boy to man up?
Yes. Oh. It was a long
Al
time
Jackson.
ago. He probably had a full-time job at 13.
I thought that you told me that Al Jackson, 13-year-old Al Jackson, was an introvert.
Yes.
So what would a 13-year-old Al Jackson have done if somebody came up to you and was like, man up?
The same thing I would have done.
Up.
When I got to college, I remember watching my parents drive away and being like, you got to go meet people, man.
That's college. You're 18.
I know, but he was on a ship full of people, Sam.
It wasn't a cruise
So he decided
ship.
to litter? And we're supposed to be happy about this?
Not a cruise ship.
That's
enough.
1950s Tinder.
Find somebody at the pool?
That's not cool.
Enough, Al. No one was on that boat. It wasn't a cruise ship. Enough. Now he's on a cruise ship.
It stinks of desperation.
Oh, that's me.
That should be on the side of that bottle. That's his cologne, Desperation, by this kid.
Chime in, DBL Nation. Chime in. DBL is live. Coming up, Kathy Griffin is throwing major shade at former bestie Anderson Cooper. You won't believe what she said about her relationship with his late mother. Plus, the Real Housewives of New York serve up the drama at the reunion, the juicy highlights and reality roundup. And you, the viewer, are our fifth host. A city in California wants to ban words like manhole, manpower, chairman, and replace them with gender-neutral words. So DBL Nation has the PC police struck again. Your comments coming up next.
Hi there, DBL Nation. Kelly Schubert here with the DBL Digital team. I'm tracking all the breaking and trending news for you right now. But I think we're going to go to the desk and talk to Jeff and Erica, see what's going on with them. Good? What's up, guys? How's it going here?
13-year-olds on the boat?
But that's what I'm talking about.
All right. What's up, DBL Nation? Another interesting morning provided to us by our presidency. You know what's funny, and this is like a little behind the scenes. I'm telling you, the night before, like if I look at CNN or something and I see a story like it's time to go what we saw last night, I was like, I just like today's, Jeff, I don't know about you, where like our lead story is like, should Starburst have a new flavor?
Yeah.
Like, I love that.
That's my favorite.
I'll argue. It's just like, that's the kind of fun stuff I like to talk about. But
me too.
We do have a responsibility to talk about this and try and do it.
In fact, we should lead with that tomorrow.
Should they?
They should.
Do you remember when Starburst did that thing where they just had the pink? It was, they tried it for a while because that's the most popular one. So they just
What happened to tropical Starburst?
They
used to
still
be
have
all
it.
over. Those are the best.
You have to go to like certain gas stations.
I know, but they should like
Red
be
and pink.
overrun.
Red and pink. That's all I need. Red
Anybody
and pink.
that
Tropical's way better than regular. Tropical everything.
To the Starburst jelly beans.
Those were good.
They do.
Those are really
just
good.
for Easter. Just for Easter. I use them in Easter. It should be more than just for Easter.
Oh, that's
Oh yeah, they do.
Because they're smaller. They're smaller than regular jelly beans, but they're less expensive than Jelly Bellies.
Just don't
It's a
look and see
neat-
what they think a
What?
serving size
The
is.
Starburst jelly
That's-
beans. Really?
Have you ever looked at like what a serving size for jelly
I'm not a
beans
big
is? It's like
jelly
a
bean
handful.
person.
I'm like, who has one
not
handful
even
of
a jelly
jelly
bean.
beans?
I don't like jelly beans.
Yeah, but how? I think I eat jelly beans once a year.
Yeah. They're
never
really
eat
just
jelly
packets of sugar.
Yeah, but I
But
think
so
there's
what?
like one
I'm a
time a year
chocolate.
someone has jelly beans. I'm like,
Give me
I'll have
chocolate.
some.
I just don't like when you get the multi jelly beans and there's like a wheat, like you like all the flavors and then there's coffee in there or something.
I
I'm
like coffee.
Why?
See,
I don't
my
want that
favorite's
with
the
my
black
cherry
licorice.
though.
That's
Ew,
my favorite.
it's the worst.
Yeah, but I don't
know.
need that mixed with like the lime one.
Welcome back to DBL. It is time for Fifth Host when we talk about what you're talking about. Berkeley, California is banning gender-based words from the city codes. Manhole will now be maintenance hole. Policemen and policewomen will now be police officer. And no more chairman. It's now chairperson. So DBL Nation will replacing gendered language in city codes make a difference.
I thought we ought to use these words. All right, George from Facebook says, I worked in manholes for 30 years. Like many people, they will always be manholes. George, I think, and I'm in this boat with you too, brother. I think this is for the next generation. I think that there are things that we've already kind of changed. People used to call them stewardesses. Now that's gone. So, I mean, this will eventually get into our language just naturally. But, I mean, for people like you that are used to seeing one word, one way for 30 years, it's probably always going to be manhole to you, bro.
Diane from Facebook says, I love this and hope it becomes the new normal. Words are powerful. Diane, I have to say in the past 24 hours, I've really had an eye-opening experience. My little sister, who is now preferred to go by gender-neutral pronouns and has been public about it for the first time, just wrote a very insightful article. I shared it with Sam, why I won't correct your pronouns. And so she's basically saying she wants to live her life in respect. And so I'm going to respect anything that makes people feel more comfortable in a very unforgiving society.
Well said, Erica. And your
Thanks
sister.
for not sharing that with me, Erica. What's
your
up?
sister is a badass.
She's amazing.
Yeah.
Yes.
I'm going to take a different route. Judith from Facebook says, this is ridiculous. Good grief. Judith, I agree with you. Do we take away Neil Armstrong's famous speech, one step for man, one giant step for mankind? He hates women. He hates women. Yeah, that's all. What's up with Mother Nature? I think we have to change that. We have to make it more gender neutral. I'm offended. I'm offended.
Two good points.
Yep,
Those are two good points. Yeah from Facebook says, there are so many things that need to get tended to in my hometown of Detroit. I doubt that changing the language in city codes would make any difference. Listen, when it comes to objects like manhole, or maintenance hole, I don't care. But when it comes to job titles, I do care, because when those titles were created, it was a male-dominated field. It still is a male-dominated field. So I think it's important. I'm all for this.
Jeff, I think you got me on your side. Father Nature just doesn't sound right.
Or Father Earth.
It's person nature, please.
Yeah. All right. Person nature.
Mother Earth is very nurturing.
No, she's not.
Not to say
She's
that men
sexist.
aren't.
She's very sexist.
Okay. That's a fair point. TBL Nation, quick reminder, we still want to hear from you. You can still vote in our poll. Is the send her back chant racist, or is this what you'd expect at a Trump rally? You heard from us. We clearly called it racist, but 64% of you agree. 36% of you still believe it is not. Go to dblvote.com to weigh in. We will share the results at the end of the show. Coming up on DBL, Tupac may be long dead, but he still got a superfan fired from his job. What? We'll explain what happened. And there's no shortage of drama when the Beverly Hills Housewives reunite. The explosive moments next in Reality Roundup.
Did y'all hear that? We got a cool 6131. Did you guys hear that? I just heard 61. Yes, that's the beauty police showing up, y'all. I hear that loud and clear. And today we're talking about y'all's nasty brushes at home that you're not cleaning. Let's get real for a second, guys. Cleaning your brushes are so important. I have met so many women who are breaking out, who have a lot of different issues, who think their makeup's breaking them out. And a lot of the time I have to go back to that one simple question. Do you clean your makeup brushes? And guess what that answer is? No. I don't know how to. Girl, what you mean you don't know how to? Do you clean yourself? Do you clean out a hairbrush? Do you clean off anything? Do you wash your forks? Do you wash your clothes? So, if you're washing all these other things in the world, why wouldn't you wash a makeup brush that's touching your face every day? You nasty. Now, we're gonna go ahead and back this up. I'm gonna go ahead and make sure that we are all educated and know how to clean our makeup brushes so everyone has a fair chance at being a clean, beautiful person going forward. Everyone's beautiful, by the way, but y'all need to be clean, However, going back to basics, let's start with Dish Dawn soap. It's as easy as that, y'all. Dish Dawn soap. If it's safe to use on penguins, it can be used on your makeup brushes too. Now, how do we do this, you ask? All right, I'll let you know. You go ahead and you take a makeup brush, right? It's nice and dirty, all freak nasty, whatever you want to do. Okay, shout out to Megan Thee Stallion. Hey, girl. It's all nasty and dirty and whatnot. You go ahead and take your little dollop of shampoo or your brush cleaner or your Dish Dawn soap, as easy as that, $2.99 at King Soopers. Rub it all up in your hand, get it all nice and filled up and lathered up with that soap, right? Take some cool to warm water, lukewarm if you may, and rinse it underneath the faucet. Yeah, it's as easy as that, y'all. Rinse it underneath the faucet until it looks nice and...
Welcome back to DBL. It was a big week for all of the ladies of the Real Housewives shows, so it is now time for Reality Roundup Housewives Edition. Ooh. There we go. Hey. First up on the Real Housewives. Yeah, you didn't get the note.
And my earpiece isn't in either.
Yeah, they told us not to do the last stuff, but that's okay. We're live.
Cool. Good note.
First up on the Real Housewives of Potomac, the ladies throw down at a hoedown. Check it out.
Why don't you go over there? Since y'all are good friends now, right here. Go over there and be with her. You're not going to talk to me like I'm a child. Wait. Who you calling a little girl? I'm talking to you. Yeah, walk away. Don't start. I will still drag you pregnant and all. Oh, you going to drag me now? I will drag you. You going to drag me? I'll drag you. Oh, drag me, Monique.
Erica, did she get dragged?
She didn't get dragged, and Monique's going to be in big trouble with her husband because he is very protective of her when she's pregnant or all the time.
As he should be, though.
But it's interesting because Candace is like, I want to stay away from all this negativity, but the center of all the negativity is her.
I know.
How are you going to be in a fight with your mama, your husband, your best friend, your semi-best friend, and yourself? That's you, girl.
And that's you. And that's not good for the baby.
It's not. It's not. No. She's not pregnant. Monique is pregnant.
Oh, that's
Candace
right. I'm getting confused.
Yeah.
Still not good for the baby.
No, it's not.
Yeah. Okay, next up, the ladies of New York City come together for the reunion show. So good. Dorinda is left in tears when she confronts Luann.
You decided at some point that I can never do any right by you.
No,
after
Dorinda.
I stood by you like a soldier.
You stood by me like a soldier, and then you let me down.
Because you took another person I love in my life and decided to all over them.
No, I did
not.
not.
But it's fine.
That's
you
not
take
true,
in
Dorinda.
Luann.
I've always liked Dorinda, and I know she can go a little crazy, but I think Luann might have lit some fires that kind of blew up while she was overly drinking, and I'm wondering if that was one of these things.
Well, it was when she was sober that a lot of Luann.
You're right. I'm trying to
that a lot of Luann and Dorinda's. You saw their relationship fall apart. Now they did make up.
Yeah. Right.
So we should mention that. Do you believe, because we've seen some makeup and some breakups, right? Do you think that this one's going to stick?
I think so, and I was really happy to see that.
Me too.
Anytime you have a relationship where you pray for one another, that is a deeper relationship than just like, oh, we're on the show together. But I also think Luann was wrong, but they could have cut her a lot more slack.
I completely agree.
She just got out of rehab, and there was zero empathy for that.
Yep. Interesting. Yep, I completely agree. All right, finally on the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills reunion, Andy Cohen drops a bombshell about Lisa's future with the franchise. Watch.
Lisa Vanderpump told a reporter yesterday she wouldn't be attending the reunion and also that she won't be returning as a housewife next season.
She did not go to that reunion. She was not there. Now, we still have 2 more parts. Maybe she will somehow show up.
I think she's done.
You think she's done,
I think
Zoe?
she's done because she wants to control. She has her own empire. And also know that Andy Cohen executive produced that, so it's the whole show. So I wonder if he was caught off guard as well as a producer.
Well,
that she just didn't
there's
show.
a new queen in town. Erica knows this. I don't know if Tori does. As we all mourn Lisa's departure, okay, Erica Jane is ready to announce to the ladies that they have a new leader.
Oh, cool.
Check it out.
She is the queen. She's the leader of the group.
She is the leader. She binds us together.
That's right. She's the binding. She's the center.
Wow.
That's very sweet, Erica. Thank you. Thank you.
I agree.
Quickly, the new queen.
She's always kind of been the binder
And she's
together.
an OG too, one of the original cast members.
The only original cast
I know.
member left.
Well, aside from Lisa, and Lisa's gone, so there you go.
Bye-bye, Lisa.
All right, we got a new queen, folks. Kyle Richards, congrats to her. Thank you for joining us here at Reality Roundup, the Real Housewives edition. We will be right back.
Promotional consideration is brought to you.
We are live. What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? Happy Thursday. Or we like to call it Friday Eve here. It's your digital break with Brandon. We're going to jump straight into this 5th host because I think it's crazy. We're talking about the city of Berkeley out in California. They're changing some of the names like fireman to firefighter to be more inclusive for genders. So let's get straight into it. Judith Ann Miles on Facebook says, "This is ridiculous. Good grief." Dorothy Chamberlain Wedge says, "For goodness sakes, aren't there more important things in life?" Jorge McBride says, "I worked in manholes for 30 years, and it will always be a manhole." I think Al read that. Laura Hammond on Facebook says, "So they want to change the names of chairman, policewoman, manhole, etc. California, people are ridiculous. Now, my take on that is because we shot 2 shows earlier. You know, we shoot 6 live shows a day. We shot 2 shows earlier, and I agree with our own Tori Shulman and Sam Shocker when they said that when it comes to leadership titles, I agree with them on that aspect to a certain degree, because if I am a CEO and I am a chairman of my company, I want to be called a chairman. I'm a chairman. I'm a man. I'm the chairman. I run this thing. That's my name on the door. You know, so I'm a chairman. If you're a woman CEO, you can be a chairwoman. Like, I don't see why we have the need to say chairperson. That sort of thing. Fireman, firewoman. If you're a woman that's a firefighter, you are a firewoman, or you can say firefighter. I just don't think that we need to switch it to one particular name just to be so inclusive. Let's keep reading these comments. Elena Porras on Facebook says, it's been called manhole for as long as I can remember. Katrina Stedham, get a freaking grip, people. Valerie Anderson, okay then, whose hole will they call it? LOL. Maintenance hole, they want to call it a maintenance hole. How many times have you used the word manhole this year alone? Kelly, go. Have you used the word manhole at all in 2019?
No. Never.
Never. Mike's got his headphones on. Alex. Never. So it's certain words where it's like, come on now, like really, who cares? I was saying we should change the words like wife beater. You know, the tank top that men wear, the undershirts. We should be focused on changing the name of that than changing the name of fireman, firewoman. But that's my opinion. Let's get to more of these comments. Bobby Clary says, banning manhole or any other kind of common word is stupid. So it looks like you all think that the PC police are in full effect with this. We got more of the show coming up. This is DBL.
Welcome back to DBL. All show long, we've been asking you to vote in our poll. So is the send her back chant racist, or is this what you would expect at a Trump rally? The results are in. 64% of you believe it is racist. 36% of you believe it is not. It's really odd for me to even phrase that question. There's a clear disconnect in this country because you can't yell that in a workplace. You will be fired. That is unlawful. So why is it any different when it's at a rally?
But maybe the numbers are backing up what we've kind of always known, is that there are 2 Americas right now. And I mean, the fact that we're seeing that, and we have numbers, and we now have Twitter, and people are more vocal on Twitter than they would be at a diner or something, it might be shocking to you, but not to me.
Yeah, because you've experienced it. And
well, just in general. I mean, like Erica said, all those people are still here.
Yeah. All right. Well, thank you for writing in, DBL Nation. We will be right back.
Hey guys, Kelly Schubert here with the DBL Digital team. I'm tracking all the breaking and trending news, but right now it's time for Fast Blast, where I bring you all the news you need to know in under 2 minutes. Let's get that timer up. Here we go. Mexican drug lord El Chapo will find out his fate today. He's expected to get a life sentence, and get this.
Daily Blast Live. We're talking about what you're talking about.
Because everyone's talking about this.
Always live, always real, always unpredictable.
You think this hair just naturally stays like that?
Log on and join our live conversation.
I can't believe I'm saying this. I do agree with you.
DBL starts right now.
Welcome to Daily Blast Live. Let's get started. Comedian Kathy Griffin is throwing major shade in an interview with BuzzFeed. She talks about her relationship with CNN anchor Anderson Cooper. She says he won't make up with her after that whole Trump head fiasco, but she might have taken it too far when she talked about his late mother. Watch.
I really was really in love with Anderson's mom, the great Gloria Vanderbilt, and she let me call her Glo Vandy, and she gave me so many life lessons. We would chat, and I actually kind of knew her better than Anderson in a way. And I hear her voice today saying things like, you know, your whole life can change in one phone call, and that's true.
Oh my gosh, listen, and I love me some Kathy Griffin. I've seen her in Los Angeles. I've seen her in Denver. This to me is such a low blow. You're kicking someone while they're down. You're pouring salt in the wound. It makes me think differently of her.
And they were good friends. Like I think we have a clip of Andy Cohen too. That was her old boss.
Yeah.
Let's let the clip speak for itself. That's not it, but here it is.
Andy Cohen treated me like a dog. I mean, he was like one of the worst bosses I've ever had. And also, you know, the guy, like, he decides the entire slate at Bravo, and yet he gave himself a talk show that magically gets renewed every year. So, you know, like, I had a talk show at Bravo for 2 years, and then I got canceled. And I thought, yeah, it's like, in a way, I'm sure it's sort of competition for Andy. So, no, he has not been very kind.
So I mean, they were all good friends, and if you're going to go on all these shows and bash your old friends, what makes you think they want to rekindle some sort of friendship with you? It's like, listen, maybe you were already on the outskirts and then you did something that they didn't even care about with the Trump head, but it was just a reason to be like, okay, it's time for us to split ways. And I kind of feel bad for her. She doesn't look.
I mean, that's even somewhat, I don't agree with it, but that is her dishing the tea. That's part of her act. When you go hear her act, she's dishing the tea on her friends. But the mother thing to me is crossing the line. You can say I was close with Gloria Vanderbilt, but to throw Anderson under the bus, who's grieving his mother, she died this month. I can't.
Erica, what's the old saying? Keep my mama's name
out your mouth.
Yes.
You keep my mama's name out your mouth. And the fact that they had they were very open about the relationship not being 100% all the time. She knows that's like the last nail in the coffin.
Oh, yeah.
In order to be like, okay, well, I know this is never going to happen. We're never going to reconcile. So now I'm going to hurt you. Yeah. Gross. But yeah, and you're right. She doesn't, and I'm not saying from like an aesthetic, she just doesn't look like well.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm not, I don't want to take a fake position because I'm not defending Kathy Griffin, but I will say this, and Erica, you were in radio for a long time, so I'm sure you dealt with this as well. You get your program director saying, push the envelope, push the envelope. People are listening. That radio stunt you did at the Chinese restaurant got us great ratings, blah, blah, blah. You push, but then you get to a line.
She crossed it.
And she crossed it, but like we pay her to push the envelope.
No.
That's why people go see her.
No,
I think you're
I'm
right,
assuming.
Al.
I will defend the Andy Cohen thing, even though I don't think it's right for her to talk negatively about their relationship, but that's what people go to listen to her to drink the tea. There's no tea about her saying that I know Gloria Vanderbilt better than her own son. There's no tea there. I mean, maybe,
there's teeth to it, though.
I think
we're talking
before
about
that, before
Final thought, we gotta get to the next
I would say absolutely you're right, Al, and I think it goes back to what Jeff was saying. You have that friend that you're kind of like, I don't know if I really want to be friends with you anymore, and then they do something and you're like, well, this is the reason why. America did that to her.
Right.
Oh, I was kind of like, do I like you? Do I not like you? Now I can't like you. This is the reason why.
Got it. Yep. All right. Luann de Lesseps is setting the record straight about her stint in rehab. Many of you have speculated that one of her fellow Real Housewives, Bethany Frankel, paid for it. But now she says that is not true. Watch.
No, she didn't. She helped, but the network actually paid for that. So I want to clarify that. You're the only ones that know it. I said it here right now.
There you go.
She helped make that happen, absolutely, and I give her credit for that, but the network covered that for me, which was great.
I love hearing, first of all, her talk openly about it. I love knowing that Bethany Frankel, we learned this on the reunion, that she and her then boyfriend, deceased boyfriend, may he rest in peace, helped arrange all of it. But to hear that her place of employment paid for it, that's rewarding. That's an investment in your employees.
I don't think it's that rare to have your place of employment pay for your rehab
I know it's not true. I know addiction very well, and I know many of my friends that have suffered from addiction not have their place of employment.
Do you think that's changed now? I would think most corporate places have some kind of addiction wellness, because aren't there things in place to make sure that people don't get fired? Yeah.
A lot of people aren't in corporations. They're in mom and pop retail stores. They're in mom and pop restaurants. They're in mom and pop bars. So I love it, but it's not par for the course.
I'm just thinking that I know a diverse array of people who have gone to rehab and it was paid for.
I love that.
Yes.
I think it's important. I think more places of employment should follow suit, because when you invest in your employees, I tell you what, it only helps that company thrive.
That's right.
So did one man's obsession with Tupac get him fired? That's what a lot of people suspect about Jerry Foxhoven. He is the former director of Iowa's Social Services Agency, and he declared his love for the late rapper through emails, and he had Tupac Fridays. The Associated Press says he even celebrated his 65th birthday with Tupac cookies that said Thug Life. It came to a head when Jerry sent out a mass email telling employees to celebrate Tupac's birthday. He resigned the next day. Now we know it's not because of his love for Tupac. The governor of Iowa said it was due to a number of factors. But of course, all the headlines read that it was because of Tupac.
Yeah, they sang "Hit 'Em Up" in the break room. No, look, let's take Tupac out of this, because you hear the name, we focus on him. Let's say it was a picture of his kids. Let's say somebody here, like we get our daily packets of what we're going to discuss. Let's say every day a producer put a picture of our kids saying, "Mandy says good morning, Sam." You'd be like, in November, after January, you'd be like, enough. You know, I think at this point, he's bombarding people that are at work with personal issues. Even though I love Tupac.
What do you think?
If you're bringing sandwiches for me every Friday or cookies or whatever, go Tupac.
You don't care.
That's a good point.
What's on
That's
the
a good
sandwich?
point.
What's on the cookie?
I don't even read my emails.
See?
Good to know. Good to know, producers.
I'm kidding.
All right, well, Paul McCartney has a new project in the works. Raquel Villanueva has the news at the moment.
That's right, Sam. Not only is Paul McCartney writing his very first musical, it's based off of one of the most famous Christmas movies of all time, It's a Wonderful Life. If being in the Beatles took him to Abbey Road, his new path is leading him straight to Broadway. At 77, Paul never pictured himself getting into musical theater, but it just took finding the right team to make it sound like fun. In the 1946 classic film, a banker is ready to end his life, but a guardian angel steps in and shows him his worth. It's a Wonderful Life, the musical, is set to launch next year.
Wow, that sounds fantastic. Thank you so much, Raquel. We want to send best wishes to actress Valerie Harper. The 79-year-old has been battling cancer since 2013 after beating lung cancer in 2009. Now her family has started a GoFundMe to help with medical costs. They've already raised $49,000. Listen, our thoughts and prayers with her. It just breaks my heart that families have to start GoFundMes unless or otherwise their loved one is going to die or they're going to end up being bankrupt.
It boggles my mind how many GoFundMes, and I know we make fun of GoFundMes for different reasons because people use it for frivolous stuff, but I wish I could help everyone who I know with GoFundMes for medical expenses.
Who you know?
Yes, who I know.
I know.
Every day I feel like there's a new campaign for someone who legitimately needs help. Like our healthcare system needs to GoFundMe.
Yes. Yeah. Yes, I agreed. I think you said it best. She's absolutely right. All right, officials in Florida are trying something very different to stop the homeless from sleeping in public places. They're blasting children's songs. Here are a couple of examples. So I know I was reading some of the comments, a lot of people think this is funny. This is so inhumane, and it's not, it's in West Palm Beach, and West Palm Beach actually.
Florida City, I believe.
I believe it's West Palm Beach.
Is it West? Okay.
Yes, and they have very progressive actually initiatives like peer outreach, rent assistance, subsidized housing. It's this one building that they're trying to prevent people from congregating in front of. It's a banquet hall. it's still immoral, even if it's one building.
Yeah, it's the way that we decided to handle our mental health system. And, and all this dysfunction is to just not let them sleep. I don't know. It is a little.
That's torture.
And it's just, you know, there are ways. What do they always say? You judge society on how they treat their poor and how they treat their weak. And I mean, this is what we're doing. We're just saying, don't sleep here, go somewhere else. Because I'm sure they're getting ready to gentrify that area and they need to clean out the trash, as they call it.
This is a new banquet hall, you're right. And
yeah.
they're looking at $250,000 worth of revenue that they're hoping to get in every single year. And West Palm Beach keeps saying, but we're progressive. We have subsidized housing. We have this, we have this. It's just this banquet hall. It doesn't make it any better.
Yeah, no, I agree. And we were talking earlier about the fact that people can go crazy, like hearing things over and over like that. And the idea that you're using a already marginalized, disenfranchised group, and there could be substance abuse issues or mental health issues, and then you're throwing this on top of it.
I know.
It's rough.
Wow. So, shame, 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 shame. Coming up on DBL. I scream, you scream, we all scream for lower prices. We got a hot bargain on this ice cream maker in our DBL Deal Blast. And can you guess that road sign? The strangest traffic signals around when we come back.
For those of you, DBL Nation, who have been with us for a while, you know the Al Jackson Postmates story, when I let him use my Postmates because something wasn't working with his and he ordered like $75 worth of sushi. So my phone isn't working because our Wi-Fi isn't working in here. But Al's phone is. So I feel like it's time for payback. So DBL Nation, what should I order for lunch today?
Can I just say that I volunteered happily?
Mignon.
I volunteered my phone happily.
Maybe some
because I have
oysters.
Verizon and I get Surface.
Yeah, when Al orders, it's like the ribs, the oysters, anything that's so expensive.
I haven't gotten Postmates in a while.
Nice.
Hit me up. Give me some ideas.
I heard crab claws are in season.
Dom Perignon.
Quail eggs. Have you ever had quail eggs? Have you ever had frog legs?
Yeah.
What do they say? Chicken?
Exactly like chicken.
Really?
Exactly like chicken.
That's called foie gras, right? Am I saying that?
No, that's
Foie
duck
gras
liver.
is banned because the way
What
they.
is it?
It's a duck liver.
Yeah, but it's not a duck liver. It's the way.
Yeah, it is.
I know, but the way they get it to be so fatty is they force feed the ducks in a torturous manner, where the ducks also produce adrenaline because they're being tortured, and it changes the texture of that liver.
He asked me a question.
No, I know, but that's why it's banned. So foie gras is actually banned in many cities because I don't know if veal is.
I've never ate veal ever in my whole life.
But foie gras, just look into it.
Because I don't like what they do.
It's
I don't
the
like
most
how
torturous
the calf doesn't even
form
get a chance
of
to be,
animal cruelty in order
live.
to produce what
I
that
never
texture
ever
is, and
ever
it's not good.
Oh.
Welcome back to DBL. Many of us hit the road during the summer for a good old-fashioned road trip, but do you know all the rules of the road? Ooh, we're gonna have a little fun and guess that road sign. So play along with us at home. Here we go. Let's start. First up.
Stuff. Me too. I love
Let's see it.
Watch out for a ravine. Like there's a ravine.
How are we doing? We just shouting them out?
You just yell it out.
No, I'm supposed to actually tell you. Yeah.
Okay.
That's what I was told, so they can get one-shots on you. Sorry, Al. So what do you think?
Steep hill coming.
Ooh, okay.
Steep hill? I think like under a mountain.
Why would you
I
tell
don't
people
know.
that, Sam? I'm going to say that there's a ravine.
Okay.
So maybe water is gathered.
Nope, it's a hard bump.
That's
Mostly
what I said.
seen near schools. Okay, Erica, this next one. Are you ready, Erica?
Okay.
Take a look at it.
No littering from Popeye?
All right, I'm going to go with no cans.
Oh, I think no.
Why would you ever need to tell someone that?
No tossing your cans.
Because you have to have plastic.
No tossing your cans.
Okay.
Yeah. And it's no littering. There you go. No littering. Way to go, Erica. Okay, Al.
All right.
It's on you, boo.
Railroad crossing, so if you're an 18-wheeler, you need to be careful to check your load.
That is a long explanation.
That's a good one, actually. I think he's right. Let's see. That sounds right.
Check your load sounds right.
Low
I
ground clearance, usually for trucks pulling trailers, so it doesn't have anything to do with a railroad.
Then what the heck are the tracks doing there?
Maybe it has to, but it didn't say it in the description. Anyway.
All right, that counts for me.
Okay, the next one, let's see it. Oh, look out, road construction.
That was like an
There
emoji.
could be a wrench in the
There's mechanics
coming up.
at play.
A mechanic on its way. Okay, let's see. It means there's a mechanic nearby. That's so cool.
Everyone
Good
giggled.
job.
Well, what else could he have guessed, Sam?
I said a wrench. Could be road construction with a wrench on the ground.
Who uses a wrench on the road?
All right.
Railroad.
Fair enough. Not really. All right, let's see the next one. Oh, Erica, what's this one?
Oh, I know this one.
I know this one. Think about Jay-Z.
There's a jewelry store coming.
I know what this one is.
I know diamond mines.
No, it means the HOV, you have to have more than
Jeff,
one
are you going to let that slide? Diamond mines?
Because I have the right answer.
Yes, you say the right answer.
It's more than one passenger for that lane, so you go faster.
The HOV lane. Yes, it is.
We have that here in Denver. It's in California.
Oh, I do
Driven on
remember the
road.
Black Diamond Lane. Yeah, I remember it.
It's for
I remember it
carpooling.
now.
It's to
Carpool
increase
lane.
carpooling, yeah.
Carpool lane. I do remember that now. Okay. What is this next one? Oh, that's easy. Get it, Al. Get it.
Slippery when wet. That was
Oh,
like
this is the last one. Come on, Al. Get it.
slippery when wet.
No.
Yeah.
Curvy road ahead.
No, it's
What?
slippery. See?
That was
slippery.
on. Remember, like in the '80s with
Curvy
posters, and there was
road?
always like the girl on the Lamborghini, and they always said that she was like washing the car, and all of them. Like,
Was
when you
that
go
a
to Target?
band album like Def Leppard, Slippery When Wet?
Probably.
Probably.
Yeah.
Our
It was
executive
something like
producer's
that.
nodding his head. Okay.
Diamond Mind ahead. Let's go back.
Diamond. What? What?
Okay, enough. Coming up on DBL, we're helping
Is
you.
a diamond mine coming up?
We're helping you look fabulous with this letter necklace. The incredible savings next in Deal Blast.
Hi, DBL Nation. In honor of that game, I have to tell you about my favorite sign. It's the deer crossing sign, and it's because in a radio interview a little while ago, a woman gently asked and innocently called and asked the station if they could move the deer crossing signs because the deers were crossing very close to heavy traffic. And that is forever in my heart, and that is now my favorite sign. Anyway, my news is a little more serious. It was the House approved a $15 an hour set for minimum wage, so that would make it to be $31,000 a year. But this is actually going to be more symbolic than anything because it's sure not to pass the Senate. It's probably just going to make it pass the House, and then that's it. But what do you think, DBL Nation? Is $15 a minimum wage requirement enough, or is it too much? Like, what do you think? I remember my first job, I think I started at about $9 an hour, but I was also 16. I don't know how you could make a living off that. Like 15 seems too low for me, but I want to know your opinions. Let me know. I'm going to answer them back. I have my YouTube channel up, so I'm ready to hear from you. Also, tell me your favorite sign stories because the deer crossing sign will always be close to my heart. Anyway, I will talk to you next break. See ya.
DBL Nation, get up off your couches, because it's time for DBL Deal Blast! That's right. We've teamed up with MorningSave.com to bring you the lowest prices on the hottest products. And here to help us out is our beauty model, Miss Denise Plant.
Ooh, the pressure's on. Good to see you, Brandon.
The pressure's on for the low, but you always bring the great deals.
I have so many great deals for you today.
All right, you ready to get this started?
Let's do it.
All right, Denise, when I'm going to give a gift, it needs to be classy and it has to be high quality. And these right here look right up my alley.
I bring them both to you. Look at the D. I'm wearing it myself. Savvy C 18-karat gold-plated 1.5-inch large initial necklaces. Absolutely beautiful initial necklaces that offer in every single letter of the alphabet. Now, they're sure to turn heads. They're classy and beautiful. 18-karat plated for long-lasting, beautiful luster.
Ooh, 18 karat. That sounds like it's going to be a little expensive. So how much is this going to run me?
Normally, it would run you as much as $98, but today only $25. Doing the happy dance, up to 74% off in savings.
Denise, you know, it takes a lot of effort for me to dress this well all the time. So what do you have for me that's going to keep me looking sharp?
C'est la vie, Duo Press HS100 steamer and iron. It's available in gold and silver. It features a ceramic-coated self-heating ironing plate and 1,150 watts of powerful steam. And there are two modes, steamer or dry iron, and you can just use it horizontally or vertically. So the new anti-drip technology keeps you safe while steaming, and this includes 3 accessories: water cup, travel bag, and brush attachment.
You can steam and iron at the same time. I know this is going to be expensive. How much are we talking?
Take it on the go. Normally as much as $100, but today $49.
49.
Savings up to 51% off.
Oh my gosh, 51. Yes. All right, so move on to this next one because Denise, I'm a busy guy and I love anything that saves me a little time. Now this next product can help anyone who's always rushing to get out of the house, right?
Okay, this one deserves a hip bump. Are you ready? Boom!
Already?
It's the 2-pack Gaga Goods Wi-Fi smart plugs. G-Home Smart Plug works with Alexa and Google to add voice control to any outlet. You can schedule lights, you can schedule fans, appliances to turn on and off automatically, or you can control them remotely when you're away. Simple to set up and simple to use. Just plug in, open the G-Home app, and start using your voice. It's that easy. Compact design keeps your second outlet free.
Well, you gave me a hip bump before you started explaining, so I know it's going to be a low price. How much are we talking?
That's true. Normally, it can run for 2 as much as $100. But today, because we're at Daily Blast Live, Deal Blast, get 2 for $25, savings up to 75% off.
75% off. Can we hit bump because we said 2? Absolutely. Now let's move over to this last one because I've been eyeing this. And you know what, Denise? I don't know if I told you or not, but I pride myself in being the best uncle ever. Hashtag Uncle Brandon. But even I need to step my game up. So this next item looks perfect for me to treat the nieces and the nephews.
This is Yum Yum from a Tum Tum West Bend soft serve ice cream machine. You can actually make delicious ice cream that the entire family will enjoy from home. It's a powerful electric motor mixes ice cream consistently for smooth, creamy results. It's easy to use. Even your nieces and nephews would like to do this with you. Its design actually lets you dispense your creation right from the machine into a cup or even a cone.
Oh my gosh, this is perfect for summer nights. How much is this going to run?
Okay, normally as high as $60, but now it's $29.
$29.
We're talking savings up to 52% off.
50% off.
Yes.
You know what? I love it, but now I can't go home back to Virginia without it. My nieces and nephews don't expect me to bring it.
You can buy it because it's so low.
Absolutely. And if you all love these prices, go ahead and head on over to morningsave.com to snag these amazing products at the low prices that we were just talking about. And you can even visit morningsave.com on your smartphone. And ladies and gentlemen, can we get another round of applause for Miss Denise?
Thank you.
We'll be right back.
Promotional consideration is brought to you.
DBL Nation, first of all, one of you guys asked, I think it was Michael Loveland, who writes a lot. We love you, Mike. I think you asked where my glasses are. I don't have them on today because my boss said with the tie and the glasses, I look like an accountant. So no glasses. And also, this is random. I don't know. I don't think you can see it because of the divider, but somebody over there has their phone that's charging, but their phone is kind of dangling off the edge like that. Does anybody have a weird thing where you have to push it back on the table? People do that with their laptops and I'm like, I don't know. It's this weird thing I have with electronics. Like, I'm very careful with them, so I don't know. Is that just me? Am I just weird? I think we know. You guys know. All right, let's get to some comments very quickly. This is regarding when we were talking about them changing the manhole in fireman to fireperson. Somebody says, Joanne Tamney on Facebook says, do people in California have nothing else to do? Bobby Cleary says, banning manhole or any other common word is stupid. Teresa Hester says, there are more important things to worry about. Get real, people. And Vicky Steinmiller on Facebook says, somebody needs to get a job and get busy. Stop this stupid stuff. People do something to help someone. And Beth Dimert, I hope I said that right, just says, people hole. I don't know. I feel like I shouldn't be saying this on TV. And
we all got them.
Yes, we do. And Michelle Pitzinger. I like saying that. She's regarding our president. She says he's anti-human. And this is Margot, who writes this a lot. She's on YouTube. She's talking to our own Brandon London. She says, she's talking about the gender-neutral terms. She says, yeah, that's lame. We don't need to change titles to be politically correct. Get over it. There are more important things to worry about. And let's see, we have some, all right, this one's a little bit longer. I hope we have time to read it. Tanya Triton, watching on 9 News Denver, says, check out the federal guidelines on workplace harassment and using racist language. Go back to where you came from is called out specifically. Look it up. You'd be fired for saying that in the workplace. Definitely racist. And everyone knows he's a racist. Why is this even being questioned? All right, Tanya, thanks for writing in. We have C.L. Harrell. Watch on at ABC 10. He says, unless you are mindless or have no thought at all, yeah, it's very racist. In fact, ever since this man got in office, all he's been doing is shooting racist digs at everyone, and everyone he was doing it before, and he started with Obama. He needs to be pulled before somebody gets really hurt. And trust me, we have a lot of people supporting our president as well. We have Bobby McAfee. She's saying she's fat. This is regarding what we talked about yesterday about is it okay to question somebody's ethnicity, like Kellyanne Conway did. And she says, I'm fascinated by ethnicity. Why not ask? And Nikki Sharp, we get asked this every time we fill out an application. And Sal Valenzuela says, it totally depends on the context. Kellyanne was inappropriate. So keep giving.
Welcome back to DBL. We love sharing your comments. What do we have, Al?
All right. Well, Albert wasn't ready, but I'm ready now. Veronica, writing us on YouTube, says, diamond mine, Sam. Really? I feel you, Veronica. And Ray says, I'm going on a road trip this weekend. I'll keep an eye out for strange signs and send them to you guys.
Yes, we love that.
Yeah, and I mean,
just be safe.
I did help a friend that was studying for the written exam because she just moved here, and a lot of the written stuff I did not. Yeah, it's like weird, like what way you turn your wheels when you're on an incline.
Oh, that I know.
It's a lot of hard stuff.
Yeah.
But you didn't know diamond mine.
We'll see you tomorrow, same time, same place.
Hi there, DBL Nation. Kelly Schubert here with the DBL Digital team. It is time for Between the Show with Shuby. That's me. Anyways, guys, I'm here to tell you about a trending story right now. Colin Kaepernick. He has actually been nominated for a 2019 Emmy because of his commercial called Dream Crazy with Nike. I'm sure you might remember we covered that on the show. A lot of people started boycotting Nike because they hired Colin Kaepernick to be the face of their campaign in 2018. I want to know what you think about this. The commercial has now been nominated for an Emmy. I actually do have some results in from how Nike is doing because, again, a lot of people said they were going to boycott Nike and not use Nike anymore, but it actually has been good for them. They gained tens of thousands of followers on Instagram, and their Nike stock value, hit an all-time high after they announced he would be the face of their campaign. So I'm interested to know what you think about this. Do you think that commercial deserved an Emmy? What do you think the criteria for an Emmy should be as far as commercials go? But yeah, write us in because I know this is a very heated topic when we talk about Colin Kaepernick, so I'd love to know your DBL take. Anyways, we've got a great show coming up next. Stay tuned.
This is Daily Blast Live. We're talking about what you're talking about.
Because everyone's talking about this.
Always live, always real, always unpredictable.
You are totally off base here.
Log on and join our live conversation.
I can't believe I'm saying this. I do agree with you.
DBL starts right now.
I'll tell you. 3, 2.
Welcome to DBL. It is Thursday, July 18th. I'm here with Tori, Jeff, Al, and I am Sam. Let's get started. The president used his rally in North Carolina to again target 4 minority Democratic congresswomen. The crowd chanted against Ilhan Omar of Minnesota, who is Muslim. Watch.
Omar has a history of launching vicious anti-Semitic screeds.
Meantime, a protester interrupted the president, holding 2 small printouts of Trump with Jeffrey Epstein with the words "child rapist" across it. He was removed with his hands behind his back. Now, a lot of people are calling the "send her back" chant racist. We want to hear from you, DBL Nation, because, when we talked about the president's racist tweets yesterday, there was a big disconnect. We all believed it to be racist. Some of you did not. We want to hear from you on this. Did you think that this was racist, or is this just what you expect? At a Trump rally, go to dblvote.com, weigh in, and this just in, Tori, President Trump did address it at the Oval Office.
Oh, okay.
He did say it was not okay. He did say that he tried to stop it by talking over it really quickly, but we did watch it back, and he stopped talking, actually, didn't talk over it. He stopped talking for 15 seconds to allow those chants to ring throughout that auditorium. So, listen, again, Democrat, Republican, I don't care. You got to call this what it is. This is racist. If I were to say this in the workplace, I would be fired.
Yeah, a lot of people wrote me yesterday and said, can she sue, or at least for harassment? Because you can in a normal job. Unfortunately, the president has absolute immunity, and that's very hard to do. So right now, she'll probably not go that route. Just 2 things I want to point out to you guys while you're voting. We're going to keep the vote up like a much longer time today, is why this is different than yesterday. 1, he didn't say it. The crowd did. So organically now the mob is coming up with their own slogan. And 2, when you say, hey, she should go back anytime, right? She can go back if she doesn't like it. That's racist. But send her back is a super different word, and I just want you to be really cautious. Send is like forcing someone back. That's when we start to talk about dictators like Hitler, Mussolini, and if you're confused of why I'm bringing that up, that's literally Piers Morgan, who is a Trump friend and supporter, saying this is fascism, and that's the same thing as Mussolini and Hitler. So please know we have jumped a huge amount from one word, which is she can go back, to send her back.
Now, one thing that, thank you, Tori, very well said. One thing that I want you to look at, Al, and Jeff, please chime in, is our own DBL Nation. We almost have our own barometer here. Yeah. Yesterday, it was 50-50. You thought whether or not they thought his tweet was racist. Right. Today, 70% of you believe it's racist, 30% of you believe it's not. So you're already seeing a stark difference from yesterday. Why do you think that is?
I don't know. I don't know. Maybe it's just the fact that it's happened 2 back-to-back days at this point. Even people that were on his side for the first tweet are now like, come on, man. Everybody right. does have a wall. And just for anybody voting, obviously we love at DBL Nation. Honestly, I say this with no, like, whatever if you like it, I love it. Do what you do. Follow your heart. Your heart is your true God. I will say this, though, but you have to be honest about what we're talking about. If Jeff and Sam got into an argument at a nightclub and Sam yelled at Jeff, go back to your country, everybody would be like, what? That didn't make any sense. If she yelled it at me, we would know what that meant. So, we have to at least be honest. We can't be disingenuous. Yeah, we can't be disingenuous. We can't do this babe in the woods. He just said go back. I don't know to where. It's stop.
Yeah, for me, I say I don't care about this stuff because I'm frustrated about it. That's why it's not because I'm not empathetic to what's going on in our country. And I think you see the jump in votes now because people know this is wrong. You know what I mean? They know this is wrong. The chant was wrong. I don't care what party you follow or what it is. It doesn't matter. The president should have shut this down when it happened, as if it happened on the other side of the aisle. They should have shut it down. It was a mob mentality. People got excited at the rally. This should have been shut down. I'm glad the president is addressing it. He should have addressed it at the rally. He was definitely wrong.
Can I ask you really quick? You always say, I'm trying to stand up for the president, and you're like, I'm getting frustrated, which so many people and Republicans feel. Do you find it harder and harder to find things to stand up for him with?
I'm not Republican, I'm not Democrat.
Right, I don't
and
think
I'm
you
not
are.
trying. The only reason I stick up for the president is because I feel like our show is very liberal.
I feel
so
you
I try to take a conservative point of view just to give our viewers a different stance.
I appreciate your honesty.
You know, and that's why I do things that I do. And I genuinely do not get interested in politics, but I have to be now, not only because I'm on the show, but for my children.
Right. Yes.
Okay. And I was listening to MLK, and I don't mean to keep going on this morning because I listen to inspirational things all the time. And for some reason, I was thinking about the show, and it just hit me. I'm like, we don't have an MLK today.
There's no leader.
The inspiration that he gave people, the positivity, his mindset in the face of danger, in the face of adversity, in the face of racism, hate, that man thought like nobody thinks today, and still was a positive force on our country. I'm not talking about skin color. I'm talking about a brilliant man.
Yeah.
We do not have that in our society today. There is nobody running for politics that says that.
Right.
Everything is, Trump said this, so I'm going to fire back at him. No one's saying, this man needs some help. I'm going to show you love. And if someone steps up and did that, I would be way more into politics.
Interesting. Very interesting. 67% of you believe it was racist. 33% of you believe it was not. Continue to chime in, continue to vote, because we will revisit the vote later in the show, so stay tuned. Well, right now, a dangerous heat wave is hitting the U.S. Let's get to Kelly Schubert with the news at the moment.
Sam, officials say this intense heat wave is not something to mess around with. Get this weekend in D.C., it could feel as hot as Death Valley, and there's no escaping it. It's going to be a coast-to-coast roast with over 200 million people under some sort of heat advisory. So DBL Nation, how will you stay cool during this dangerous heat wave? Let us know using the hashtag DBLTake.
Very scary. Thank you, Kelly. Make sure you check on your neighbors, DBL Nation, the elderly, animals, yeah, power in numbers. Well, everyone is obsessed with an app that ages you. You know what I'm talking about. You've seen it all over your feeds. Millions have used FaceApp, including celebs like the Jonas Brothers. But now a leading lawmaker says it could be a national security risk. Turns out Russians own the app, and everyone who's used it may have compromised their personal photos and data. Senate Minority Leader Chuck Schumer has called on the FBI to investigate. What have we done, Al?
I mean, this is... You know, we're in the timeline of human history. We are the first human beings that have been given this technology where now we know everything, we can see everything, we can contact everybody at the same time, and we can also do stupid things like put our credit card on random websites. I mean, how many of us have just automatic renewals of things? Where's your card? Who has your number? Hundreds of thousands of people. How many people know where you live after Lyft and Uber and Postmates? I mean, people go in your house and get your dog and walk it and put it back.
But this was so blatantly obvious, but not obvious. I mean, it was like the classic bait and switch, huh, Tori?
Yeah, like I feel like Americans were like, huh? And Russians were like, yes. Yes. Like it was so obvious. And not only did we all do it, we then age progressed, so they don't have to do it again for 40 years. Like they have the full compilation of Americans for 40 years and what they will look like.
They did this with the Pokemon thing as well. Whenever I was walking around, they figured out like where your geographic place is and where you go. Yeah.
Come on. All right. We got to be aware. Yes, we do. A 50-year-old message in a bottle has been found, and the man who wrote it has been located. But get this. He wrote the message when he was just 13 while his family was on a ship emigrating from England to Australia. He was looking for a pen pal when he wrote that letter and threw it overboard. He's now 63 years old. I want to know what little 13-year-old Jeff would have put in what would you wrote on that message thrown in a bottle?
Probably nothing, because I would have been doing something interesting.
Yeah. I'm with Jeff on that one.
I wouldn't have been writing my sad thoughts down and throwing them into the ocean.
He wanted a pen pal.
There are people on the ship.
How about the dude next to him?
On the ship. It wasn't this big old cruise ship that we all know.
There was no captain?
I don't know.
Ask him about nautical stuff.
Maybe he read like a really cool story, right?
He said 6. So he dropped 6 out because he was trying to find someone. He thought he'd send them all out to find a traveler.
See, I think
what do you call that?
That's 1950s Tinder. This is super embarrassing.
That's what?
He's just 13. First of all, it means less because he didn't care. He was just like anybody. He didn't narrow his search down. That's the first thing you do on Tinder. He should have narrowed it down. Smoke or not smoke.
That's why this man doesn't even know that they found these bottles.
I know. He's on a boat right now.
So I'm calling. Ooh.
Oh, you smell fishy.
He doesn't even know that. He didn't even say it was his. Someone in his family's like, yep, that's his.
No. Good pun, though, Tori.
Thanks.
She didn't mean to.
I didn't.
Oh, you mean like the ocean?
Yeah.
Oh.
That's embarrassing.
You're embarrassing.
Well, he's embarrassing.
He's 13.
He's still on a boat, so he clearly hasn't done much.
Shame on you, Al. You always tell the DBL Nation that you were an introvert at 13. Shame on you. You probably would have done this.
I got off the boat and I interacted in life.
DBL is live. Coming up, Kathy Griffin is throwing major shade at former bestie Anderson Cooper. You won't believe what she said about her relationship with his late mother. Plus, the Real Housewives of New York serve up the drama after reunion, the juicy highlights and reality roundup. And you, the viewer, are our fifth host. A city in California wants to ban words like manhole, manpower, and chairman and replace them with gender-neutral words. So DBL Nation has the PC police struck again. Your comments coming up next.
Hi there, DBL Nation. Kelly Schubert here with the DBL Digital team. I'm tracking all the breaking and trending stories for you right now, but I think we're going to go to the desk and see what's going on with our host. Let's go. Hi guys, how's it going up here?
Good, thank you.
What's
We got
happening?
some comments that
Oh, read 'em.
very strongly.
Oh, hey, we welcome it, though. Let's
We
do
do.
it. Do it, Tori.
Go for
Wait,
it.
what?
Jeff just always makes a face to me every time, and the viewers never get to see it when he cuts it off right before the camera turns.
I don't.
Yes, you do.
She makes it up every day.
Greg Pitt says, what kind of question is this? That representative has said terrible things about this country, speaking about Ilhan Omar and its inhabitants, and you ask if the president is being racist. Are you blind? Send her back. But Jill Linar just wrote in, 9 News, KUSA. Thanks for watching, Jill. And Greg, by the way. You can love this country and despise the president and how he's running it. But then we go right back. Brian McGill in 12 News, Arizona. You say that he and all his supporters are racist, right? Well, I have to ask if making a country a better place is racist, then a lot of other people are racist. And you were saying that a lot of military veterans are racist. And then Dewan Young says, wow, why is everything about race? I can understand being against terrorists, but the race ordeal has to stop. Really interesting point. You guys are writing like crazy. People are saying I will not support these women who are connected to terrorism. To get the facts right, someone called the migrant camps a concentration camp and people thought that was very anti-Semitic. It's gotten way out of proportion. I'm a Jew. I've looked into the comments. I'm not offended. I can discuss Israel and also have points about it without being still a good Jew. The idea of patriotism is that you challenge your politicians to do better. And that's what I'm hoping we're doing. I think I'm an American because I love my country and I want it to do better. And I want it to do better. And I hope that the military vets that I've offended or we've offended realize that I hope that you fought for our right to do that. But I respect your opinions and keep writing them in, keep voting.
You should be back.
Welcome back to DBL. It is time for Fifth Host when we talk about what you're talking about. Berkeley, California is banning gender-based words from the city codes. Manhole will now be maintenance hole. Policemen and policewomen will now be police officer. And no more chairman, it's now chairperson. So DBL Nation, will replacing gendered language in city codes make a difference?
All right, let's get right to it. Teresa from Facebook says, there are more important things to worry about. Get real, people. I appreciate your sentiment. I'm sure a lot of people feel like you do. A lot of people think that they think in words, and so when you say the right pronoun, it kind of lets you know that it's a gender neutral kind of situation. So I guess I see where a lot of people are coming from. I think this is more about the generation coming up behind us that will have more of a female representative in a lot of things, and they want to see themselves represented. So that's what it is.
That's what it is. One or up from YouTube says, it's about time we change gender-based words. I've always preferred gender-neutral words. Thanks for writing in. I kind of be honest with you, the manhole thing, I could care less about. It's a weird word, manhole, to be super honest. Maintenance hole is weird too. But when it comes to jobs and professions, I think you have to just think twice. If you're like, Tori, you're such a PC police, think about it. If I want to be a chairman, the only word I have is chairman. And to say chairwoman is awkward. So why not let women see that it's a chairperson? I have no issue with that.
And that's why you're the best anchor man in the business.
Margot from YouTube says, we don't need to change titles to be politically correct. Get over it. All right, Margot. Listen, this is a little crazy for me. You know what I mean? I get trying to be I get what you guys are doing, but it's a little crazy for me. One giant step for man, one small giant step, whatever it is, for mankind. We got to change that. Neil Armstrong hated women. No, I don't think so. What about Mother Nature? We got to change that? I'm offended. I'm offended by Mother Nature and weather in general.
His points. Dee from Facebook says political correctness triggers my anxiety. When speaking to one another, the intention behind the statement is what matters. I agree as far as like context. But at the end of the day, I'm not thinking about who we are today. I'm thinking about in the future, because when those words were created, it was when men ruled the world. And many people would argue men still rule the world. So I think it's important. I think titles, don't you dare, Al.
Do that, Al.
Don't you?
What?
You
Okay,
went like
own
this
it.
when
I
she
did
said
not.
that. Yes,
I had a cramp in my forearm, and
He went like this, man.
The real reason I don't like this is because if people really were offended and they're like, hey, I really prefer you call me a police woman or I don't know what they want to be called.
Police officer.
Officer.
It's fine. That's fine. So if I'm like, she's a police woman, and someone's like, you know, I'd rather be a police officer. Okay, no problem.
Yeah.
It's when someone's like, excuse me,
Right.
I am not that, and you better call me police officer. And I'm like, okay, police woman.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
course.
And then I'm like, don't
You get defensive.
jam it up my manhole.
I was wondering how you were going to get out of that. Well done, sir.
Well done. All
I
right.
ran into that. Okay.
DBL Nation, a quick reminder, you can still vote in our poll. Is the send her back chant racist in your opinion, or is this just what you expect at a Trump rally? So go to dblvote.com, weigh in. We're going to share your results in a bit. As you can see, it's still pretty at 67% versus 33%. We want to hear from you, so make sure you vote. Coming up on DBL, Tupac may be long dead, but he's still got a superfan fired from his job. What? We'll explain what happened. And there's no shortage of drama when the Real Housewives of Potomac get together. The explosive moments next in Reality Roundup.
Hey guys, Kelly Schubert here with the DBL Digital team. I'm tracking all the breaking and trending news, but right now it's time for Fast Blast, where I bring you all the news you need to know in under 2 minutes. Let's get that timer up. Here we go. Intense video coming in from Japan right now. Take a look at this fire that killed more than 30 people. Now, it happened at one of Japan's most popular anime studios. Apparently, a man in his 40s went into the building and shouted, "You die," before he poured a gasoline and started the blaze. He's now in police custody, but a very sad scene there in Kyoto today. Instagrammers in many countries are seeing something different on their feeds today. No more likes. The social media app has hidden the number of likes for users in Australia as they test out a way to remove pressure from the digital platform.
Good day, mate.
Now, you'll still be able to see how many likes your own post gets, but you won't be able to see the amount of likes on your friends' posts. Now, this isn't being tested in the US or the UK yet, but it could hit our phones within the next month. Now, DBL Nation, do you think this is a good idea, or does it take away from the entire point of Instagram? Here's a good reminder to be your own biggest cheerleader. Game of Thrones is nominated for a record 32 Emmy nominations this year, despite fans not being too pleased with how the season ended. But HBO actually didn't submit all of the nominations. Gwendolyn Christie, aka Badass Brienne of Tarth, submitted herself and got a nomination. How cool is that? I guess it's a little frustrating that HBO didn't cough up the $220 it takes to nominate each of its amazing actors, but props to Gwendolyn for believing in herself. Alfie Allen and Carice Van Houten also submitted themselves and grabbed nominations. And speaking of amazing TV shows, get ready, Upper East Siders. Gossip Girl is officially getting a reboot. Now, you can act like you didn't love this show, but we all know that's not true. Rumors have been swirling about a reboot for years, and HBO Max has just picked it up. The bad news, Serena and Blair won't be in the show. But the cool thing about the reboot is that we're all in different times now. Social media tells all. So will Gossip Girl be able to stay anonymous? That's one secret I'll never tell. XOXO, Gossip Girl.
The Real Housewives show. So it is now time for Reality Roundup Housewives Edition. Ooh, there we go. Hey. First up on the Real Housewives. Yeah, you didn't even get the note.
And my earpiece isn't in either.
Yeah, they told us not to do the last stuff, but that's okay. We're live.
Cool. Get you. Good note.
First up on the Real Housewives of Potomac, the ladies throw down at a hoedown. Check it out.
Why
don't you go over there? Since y'all are good friends now,
right here.
Go over there and be with her.
You're not going to talk to me like I'm a child.
Who you talking to, little girl? I'm talking to you.
Yeah, walk away.
Don't start. I will still drag you pregnant and all. Oh, you gonna drag me now? I will drag you. You gonna drag me? I'll drag you. Oh, drag me, Monique.
Erica, did she get dragged?
She didn't get dragged, and Monique's going to be in big, big trouble with her husband because he is very protective of her when she's pregnant or all the time.
As he should be, though.
But it's interesting because Candace is like, I want to stay away from all this negativity, but the center of all the negativity
welcomes
is
it.
her.
I know.
How are you going to be in a fight with your mama, your husband, your best friend, your semi-best friend, and yourself? That's you, girl.
And that's
it's you.
And that's not good for the baby.
It's not. It's not. No. She's not pregnant. Monique is pregnant.
Oh, that's
Candace
right. I'm getting confused.
Yeah.
Still not good for the baby.
No, it's not.
Yeah. Okay, next up, the ladies of New York City come together for the reunion show. So good. Dorinda is left in tears when she confronts Luann.
You decided at some point that I can never do any right by you.
No,
After I stood by you like a soldier.
You stood by me like a soldier, and then you let me down.
Because you took another person I love in my life and decided to all over them.
No, I did not.
But that's fine.
That's
you
not
take
true,
it,
Dorinda.
Luann.
I've always liked Dorinda, and I know she can go a little crazy, but I think Luann might have lit some fires that kind of blew up while she was overly drinking, and I'm wondering if that was one of these things.
Well, it was when she was sober that a lot of Luann.
You're right. I'm trying to
that a lot of Luann and Dorinda's. You saw the relationship fall apart. Now they did make up.
Yeah. Right.
So we should mention that. Do you believe, because we've seen some makeup and some breakups, right? Do you think that this one's going to stick?
I think so, and I was really happy to see that.
Me too.
Anytime you have a relationship where you pray for one another, that is a deeper relationship than just like, oh, we're on the show together. But I also think Luann was wrong, but they could have cut her a lot more slack.
I completely agree.
She just got out of rehab, and there was zero empathy for that.
Yep. Interesting. Yep, I completely agree. All right, finally on the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills reunion, Andy Cohen drops a bombshell about Lisa's future with the franchise. Watch.
Lisa Vanderpump told a reporter yesterday she wouldn't be attending the reunion and also that she won't be returning as a housewife next season.
She did not go to that reunion. She was not there. Now, we still have 2 more parts. Maybe she will somehow show up.
I think she's done.
You think she's done,
I think
so?
she's done because she wants to control. She has her own empire. And also know that Andy Cohen executive produced that, so it's the whole show. So I wonder if he was caught off guard as well as a producer.
Well,
that she just didn't
there's
show.
a new queen in town. Erica knows this. I don't know if Tori does. As we all mourn Lisa's departure, okay, Erica Jane is ready to announce to the ladies that they have a new leader.
Oh, cool.
Check it out.
She is the queen. She's the leader of the group.
She is the leader. She binds us together.
That's right. She's the binding. She's the center.
Wow.
That's very sweet, Erica. Thank you. Thank you.
Quickly, the new queen.
She's always kind of been the binder
and she's
together.
an OG too, one of the original cast members.
The only original cast member
I know.
left.
Well, aside from Lisa, and Lisa's gone, so there you go.
Bye-bye, Lisa.
All right, we got a new queen, folks. Kyle Richards, congrats to her. Thank you for joining us here at Reality Roundup, the Real Housewives edition. We will be right back.
Promotional consideration is brought to you by this.
Y'all, a lot of people writing in, Stephen George, there's plenty of positive news that DBL could be focused on. True, but we also want to keep you up to date because we're talking about what you're talking about. And this is trending on Twitter like crazy. And it would be remiss of us not to at least bring it up and get a feel for the DBL temperature. But trust me, the next block is crazy. Don't worry about it. We're going to get happier. Also, happy birthday, Johnny Marrow. I hope I'm saying that right. We hope you're doing well. He said it's his birthday and we're his favorite show. What up? Mad Blogger, it's not racist. It's about a congresswoman trying to tear down this country when she had to escape her Somalia that is doing so well. So, real quick, there are comments, and I urge you guys a lot of you are writing in saying they are terrorists, these 4 women, they're horrible. Take a look at actually what they said. And if you disagree, that's totally okay. But a lot of the rhetoric is being spread that's being inflamed a bit. And I just recommend for everyone, the DBL notion is don't read clickbait. you're a discernible citizen, you're smart, and go ahead and listen to what actually was said before you go crazy. And if you still agree, that's okay. But at least give people the benefit of the doubt. All 4 of them are American citizens. They are elected to this country. They're serving their country. They don't have to be doing this. They're trying to make it better for their communities. I know a lot of you disagree, but make sure you're not just getting headlines when you're defending Trump's position, because it's important to find out what they actually said. But a lot of you are saying, if you don't like your job, Harold Hicks, you can quit. If you don't like your neighborhood, you move. If you don't like your relationship, you get out of it. Why is it racist to say if you don't like where you live, then leave? It has nothing to do with color, race, or religion. 2 things. 1, send her back is different than you can go back. But when you point out 4 people of color as the squad that you're going after, and they all happen to be of color, and you don't mention anybody from an Irish background or anything like that, it begs the question why the people of color are being called out. So I think that's why we're bringing that in. I hope that makes sense, that we're not just saying, this is racist. It's because he's calling out very specifically the 4 non-white people and making that, and I promise you, his 2020 campaign, this squad will be enemy number 1. It'll be the crooked Hillary. It'll be all of that. So expect a lot more. I think about this. He's told us his 2020 plan, and it's burn him down. That's what it's like. Now, I know a lot of you disagree with me, but that's the great part of the show. And hold on, I just want to get to YouTube. There's someone that wrote something very interesting. See, I'm not lying. Our Wi-Fi is quite slow. It's coming. It's coming. It's coming. And we have it. Deborah Law wrote us in. I wanted to get to this. And we're never going to get to it. No, I'm going to read it in the actual broadcast, so take a listen. Thanks, guys.
Welcome back to DBL. All show long, we've been asking you to vote in our online poll, as there's a clear disconnect. Is the send her back chant racist, or is this what you'd expect at a Trump rally? The results are in. 67% of you believe it is racist. 33% of you believe it is not. And we have strong comments coming from both sides. I'm just going to give a preview of about 2 that are both extreme so you can see the temperature of the DBL nation. This is Greg Pitts. What kind of question is this? That representative has said terrible things about this country, Ilhan Omar. That's what he's referring to, and its inhabitants. And you ask if the president is being racist, are you blind? Send her back. All uppercase. But then we have another one, and this is from Darlene Law on YouTube. When is this going to stop? He's acting like Hitler and not an American president, and yet they keep getting away with hatred, words, and actions. Well, Tori, I think you said it best. If you were to say this in your workplace, you would be fired. It is deemed unlawful by our very own government. So there's no argument there. There really isn't. It shouldn't be any different if you say it in a workplace or if you say it in an auditorium chanting it because the president is in front of you. Here's what's coming up next.
Kathy Griffin throws more fuel on the fire in her feud with Anderson Cooper. The shady way she described her relationship with his late mother. Plus, did an employee's obsession with Tupac go too far? You won't believe what he did to get himself fired. And summer is all about road trips. But can you figure out what the heck these road signs even mean? Play along with our road sign game when DBL comes back.
This is my favorite story of the day, and Tori, I'm a vegetarian, so this is going to say a lot.
Tori,
the Oscar Mayer Wienermobile is now going to be an Airbnb this summer. So if you're in Chicago, it's $136 a night, which I think is a complete steal. I wanted to come to Denver, so I don't know if I have to start some sort of online petition, go to like petition.com or like go on Facebook, but I want to make this happen. Maybe I'll just reach out directly to you, Oscar Mayer Wiener. I need this to be here. And I was kind of looking at the website. You can't find the reservations on the Oscar Mayer website. You have to go to Airbnb. So it's a pro tip if you are going to be in the Chicago area and you want to rent it out. I think this is the coolest idea. There was another contest they had a couple months ago, and you could actually win a night at the Louvre, the French museum. So I think they're just stepping up their game, and I think it's a great idea. Like, if you had the weirdest place that you could, like, Airbnb, what would it be? I think I'm gonna go on the internet bandwagon, jump on the trend. I would want an Airbnb in Area 51. Probably be freaked out the whole time, but I think it's worth it. So let me know, and I will talk to you next break. Bye.
Is Daily Blast Live. We're talking about what you're talking about.
Because everyone's talking about this.
Always live, always real, always unpredictable.
You are totally off base here.
Log on and join our live conversation.
I can't believe I'm saying this. I do agree with you.
DBL starts right now.
3, 2.
Welcome to DBL. Let's get started. Comedian Kathy Griffin is throwing major shade in an interview with BuzzFeed. She talks about her relationship with CNN anchor Anderson Cooper. She says he won't make up with her after that whole Trump head fiasco, but she might have just taken it too far when she talked about his late mother. Watch.
I really was really in love with Anderson's mom, the great Gloria Vanderbilt, and she let me call her Glo Vandy, and she gave me so many life lessons. We would chat, and I actually kind of knew her better than Anderson in a way. And I hear her voice today saying things like, you know, your whole life can change in one phone call, and that's true.
I don't like this at all. I just have to be honest. I watched the documentary between Anderson Cooper and his mother, and they did have a really hard relationship. She was a super socialite. They were very formal with each other. And then his older brother jumped out a window in front of his mother, and they had a very hard, they never spoke about it. So they did have an estranged relationship, but they worked really hard. And coming in here right the month she's dead and saying that is a dig, and it's not a nice one. I think it's very hurtful.
Yeah, and I love Kathy Griffin. I go to her shows, but this makes me think differently of her. This is somebody kicking someone down, and I mean kicking them down hard.
Yeah,
this is like the worst thing you could say someone that just lost. You've lost a parent.
Yes, I mean, literally it's the worst thing you can say. And, you know, I'm not defending what she did. I think that she is hurt by what's happened, and I think when you're hurt, you lash out. And we've all been in arguments with people that we absolutely love, and we've said some stuff that we'll probably take to our graves. I think everybody, us on this panel and everybody watching, has said something that they'll forever regret. What I will say about Kathy Griffin, in her defense, is I think that we all have a little bit to play in this. I think that Kathy Griffin provides something that's called a blank stirrer. That's what she does. She spills the tea. She has rumors. She has stuff that happens backstage. She talks about on stage. She pushes the envelope. People show up. They watch her show. They go to her shows because they want to see that.
Yeah.
And she's continuing to do that, but now she's being perceived differently. And so it's coming off differently. But for years, this is what we've asked from her.
Yeah, I understand that.
Though.
We're all complicit in the tea, I guess. But there's this one. This is different. Like the tea is like, this is what happened. I'm going to tell you. And yes, it can be very drama ensued. And yeah, that can be toxic. It's the same thing with the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills in New York. This to me is like, I'm going to hurt you to make myself look better.
It felt very personal. It
did. And I think a lot of people feel the same way. I haven't seen anybody applaud Kathy Griffin for these comments from what I've seen on Twitter. So that should speak volumes, because there's always another side on Twitter, right? It doesn't seem like there is one on this one. So let us know how you feel. Luann de Lesseps is setting the record straight about her stint in rehab. Many have speculated that one of her fellow Real Housewives, Bethany Frankel, paid for it. But now she says that is not true. Watch.
No, she didn't. She helped, but the network actually paid for that. So I want to clarify that. You're the only ones that know it. I said it here right now.
There you go.
She helped make that happen, absolutely, and I give her credit for that, but the network covered that for me, which was great.
I appreciate, first of all, Jeff, her honesty, speaking about such a personal issue. And I know that's part of her job, being a real housewife. Your whole life is for the people to watch. But it also brings up the responsibility that employers have, right? You want to invest in your employees, whether it's a $15 minimum wage, whether it's having health care for them, but also making sure that they are their best selves. So what do you think about that being almost a normalcy? Because it's not. I know many people that have gone to rehab and their employers did not pay for it, but I do know some employers that have. But what do you think about that being almost like a rule?
I think it's terrific.
Considering
it's
how
wonderful.
much addiction we have in this country.
Yeah, and you know how easy it is to, as a boss or a network, to be like, you have the drug problem, not us. We're going to let you go and cut ties here. For them to back her, you know what I mean? I think that's terrific, especially in this day and age, you know? I mean, just, was that Bravo then who was doing that? So props to Bravo.
And
it makes me like them more.
And I also would say I'm not going to say they encourage, but there's a lot of drinking on that show, right?
That's a great
and
point.
sometimes the show is great when there's crazy amount of drinking.
They're complicit.
Yeah, so Bravo has some part in this. It's not they're all, so I agree. You know what I mean?
I'll just say this. I came up in a world of stand-up comedy. I didn't come up in broadcast. And I mean, alcohol is part of it. It's sometimes, especially when you're early in your career, that they probably don't do it now, but 10, 13 years ago, it would be in your contract, like drinks are free, but we can't pay you that much kind of thing. So, I mean, there were a lot of comics and entertainers in general that did develop problems because it becomes ingratiated. You have a drink before the show,
you always
drink during the show,
a
couple drinks after the show, the next day the same thing, and then you do that 40 weeks a year times 9 years, and where are you? So a lot of these places that do have these entertainers around, they do have some role to play.
That's well said. Well said. All right, did one man's obsession with Tupac get him fired? That's what a lot of people suspect about Jerry Foxhoven. He is the former director of Iowa's social services agency, and he declared his love for the late rapper through emails and Tupac Fridays. The Associated Press says he even celebrated his 65th birthday with Tupac cookies that said Thug Life. It came to a head when Jerry sent out an email, or a mass email, telling employees to celebrate Tupac's birthday. He resigned the next day. Now we just found out that it's not because of his love for Tupac that he was fired. The governor of Iowa says it was due to a number of factors. But it didn't stop many
Basically, he was annoying the pants off of his coworkers.
Yeah.
That's what it, because we didn't tell, this wasn't in the prompter. It was like over 350
pages of emails that he sent.
That's a bit much. Even if it was his kids. If it was his kids.
What if it's over the period of like 10 years? It's not that much.
It's 35 a year. That's a lot.
Once a month?
Wait.
Well, what if it's Tupac Fridays?
It should be Tupac Tuesdays.
It should be Tupac Tuesdays. I agree.
No, because Friday's the inspirational fun day.
Yeah, but what if you're not a Tupac fan? Which I find it hard to believe. But what if he had picked an entertainer that you didn't care for and you just knew every Friday, here comes an email from the boss about Bonnie Raitt?
He always picked like the inspirational messages behind it.
But
So
but it's inspirational to him.
Right, but Tupac also does have, let's say, mature content in his lyrics, right? So maybe some people felt uncomfortable that he kept referencing it.
I think mature content would count. Yeah, that's a nice way to say that.
Yeah, but like it was sort of an obsessive way of doing it, apparently.
You can tell his hobby got in the way.
Yeah.
Okay. Right?
Yeah.
Now, Jeff, what if it was bear stuff every Friday?
Oh, I'm down with it.
Bear stuff?
Yeah.
Oh, the Chicago Bears?
No, just black and grizzly and brown.
Don't forget polar.
Polar bear.
There we go.
All right. Paul McCartney has a new project in the works. Raquel Villanueva has the news at the moment.
That's right, Sam. Not only is Paul McCartney writing his very first musical, it's based off of one of the most famous Christmas movies of all time. It's a Wonderful Life. If being in the Beatles took him to Abbey Road, his new path is leading him straight to Broadway. At 77, Paul never pictured himself getting into musical theater. It just took finding the right team to make it sound like fun. In the 1946 classic film, a banker is ready to end his life, but a guardian angel steps in and shows him his worth. It's a Wonderful Life. The musical is set to launch next year.
It's gonna be huge.
Know what I'm giving my parents for Christmas? That's my mom's favorite movie.
Is it? Huge. It's such a good movie. It's such a beautiful movie. All right. Well, we do want to send best wishes to actress Valerie Harper. This 79-year-old has been battling cancer since 2013 after beating lung cancer in 2009. Now her family has started a GoFundMe to help with her medical costs. They've already raised $49,000, but for any of us that know, being in the hospital it bankrupts people.
Yeah.
So what does that tell you, Jeff? Like, you risk going bankrupt or you risk losing your loved one because of money.
Yeah, I mean, it's crazy. My wife has something like wrong with her knee. She's been talking about it for like 2 or 3 years. She won't go to the hospital because of the money. I'm like, we're not, you could go to the hospital. We have insurance and all that. She's like, no, it's just going to cost too much money. She's fearful and we have money to pay for it. So I can't imagine people working day to day that have their ends meet, how fearful they are of going in the hospital or taking an ambulance somewhere.
It's an injustice.
I mean,
Something our country needs to figure it out.
Lifts and Ubers to the hospital.
To save on the
I know we got to go, but Kamala Harris said that thing like when she was talking about how many parents sitting in the parking lot of an emergency room looking at those glass doors, knowing if they walk in, they are bankrupting their family.
Yep.
You know, but at the same time, you got a kid
to do what you
grown up 20 times. So yeah, it's scary.
Wow. Well, officials in Florida are trying something very different to stop the homeless from sleeping in public places. They're blasting children's songs. Here are a couple examples. Oh, gosh. So inhumane and immoral.
Yeah, so I was trying to figure this out.
That song or what they're doing?
What they're doing.
But they do say in torture situations, they tend to play loud, and it's been like Christina Aguilera songs or certain songs extremely loud, so much so that through all the other torture, a lot of prisoners have said it was the music that was the most torturous, and some have gone deaf because the brain just can't continually hear it over and over again. Now, I'm not saying they're being tortured, but I'm saying, is this the most humane way?
And what's interesting, Tori, is this is in West Palm Beach. In West Palm Beach, I looked into it. They actually have quite progressive initiatives to help with the homeless. They have subsidized housing, peer outreach, rent assistance. So it doesn't jive with their typical ways of doing it. And it doesn't represent the whole city. We should provide context. It's one building. It's a build. And I guess I was just told that there was a building here in Denver. We do the same thing here in Denver. It's immoral. There's a better way
don't forget,
to do
Sam,
this.
Statistically, half of those people are veterans.
Yeah.
So
you're right. Come on. So
and for someone who's hungry to say it's raining tacos isn't the best thing. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's just inhumane all over the place.
It's a bad look.
Yeah.
Yeah. Wow. Well, coming up on DBL, I scream, you scream, we all scream for lower prices. We've got a hot bargain on this ice cream machine, or maker rather, in our DBL Deal Blast. Can you guess that road sign? The strangest traffic signals around when we come back.
What's going on? What's going on?
What do you plan this weekend? Any plans, guys? That's not sleepy. I'm asking about your plans.
I don't know. I'm gonna go golf this weekend.
Yes. Golf in LA? What are you doing? Seeing the kidlets?
Did you know that?
I'm seeing the kids. I have a show there too.
What? Are you mad about that?
No, I don't think I'm very happy that my husband gets to get out and go golf with Jeff, and I want him to because he works from home and he doesn't get to get out much. So I fully encourage it. I just need to remember to take time for myself. I can't tell you the last time I took a Saturday or a Sunday to do anything for myself.
Would you call yourself a momaholic?
Yeah, I mean,
did you just make that up, or is that a word?
Yeah,
Really?
I've never been like, Tori, let's go to the mall on Saturday.
Once.
Or Tori, let's
Mani
go
pedis, never.
to go get mani-pedis.
Why don't you do that on Sunday?
I should. That's my point. I don't blame my husband at all. I should do something.
You
for
need to make
myself.
boundaries for yourself.
Yeah.
We should do a mani-pedi on. I need a mani.
I hate mani-pedis.
I think they're so annoying. No, Sam and I agree.
hate them. I would love to go to a spa and like sit.
Why don't you
get a-
like? I love.
Because I sit there and they're
boring.
just. It's just like I'm an hour. No one's talking to me.
boring.
It's
You-
weird.
What's wrong with
It's a
that?
waste
Dude,
of
I
time.
go with Jordan. Like every time we're in Charlotte, there's a place by our house.
Waste of time.
It
No
is a
way,
waste of
dude. They
time.
massage your feet and it's nice.
It's a waste
And my
of
toes
time.
look
It's a
nice
waste
in
of
sandals.
Yeah.
I'd much rather do something else. Go to a long lunch or what?
Honestly, no. He said your toes look good in sandals for a guy. I didn't know what a big deal taking care of your feet were, and then
My dad gets
I started getting foot shamed, and then it wasn't funny anymore. And then I started
Can
wearing
we talk about
socks.
your corner of shame? Can we talk about that?
Oh yeah,
on
what
here?
is this? I saw the
There's
sign.
a sign up in the dressing room, y'all. If y'all don't know, there's 7 of us, I think, and there's a sign that says Al's Corner of Shame, and it's usually where he just puts his clothes. Can you talk about that?
I'm too lazy to hang my clothes up after the show.
So entitled and rude.
Wow.
So you expect somebody else?
Welcome back to DBL. Many of us hit the road during the summer for a good old-fashioned road trip, but do you know all the rules of the road? We're gonna have some fun in Guess That Road Sign, so play along with us at home. Here we go. Let's begin.
Any music with that.
Yep.
Yeah.
First up. Oh, Baby Ford.
That's right. That's my first thing I thought about.
What is that?
A Ford plant is coming up.
A what?
A Ford plant.
Wow, you got mad at me for my, okay.
Well, what do you think it is?
Follow other road directions.
What?
Is
that right?
I just guessed.
That's the most brilliant thing.
Oh, here we go. It's a ford crossing or shallow water. So we forget that ford also means shallow water.
Like a fjord.
I don't know because no one's ever used that term before, so that's why.
Mine was
okay.
It was really good.
The next one, let's see it. Tori, what do you think that is?
Obviously, everyone put your top hats to your right.
It doesn't look like a top hat.
No.
It looks like a sign, men at work.
Men at work,
men working.
Or we should say people at work.
Oh.
Yes. This one means flagger ahead. It's a construction zone. All right, here's another one. What do you think that is?
Drawbridge.
Yeah, that's a drawbridge.
Yeah, that's a drawbridge for sure.
Yeah.
Yep,
All right.
drawbridge. Let's have another.
This is a
One of those floating car things?
Yeah, your cars can float. Yep.
What? Where you
That
put your
means-
car on there and
Potential flooding.
A barge?
You know,
Oh,
where
maybe
you,
a ferry.
yeah, when you ship your car, like up in New England, like you could take your car in their islands.
I think it means potential flooding.
I think it
to
might
get your
out.
car to an island, you put it on a ferry.
I know, but I also
Said
think.
barge 10 times.
Okay, let's see what it is. It means ferry. You guys are right. I'm wrong.
Is a ferry and a barge the same thing?
I think so.
What is a barge?
I thought a barge had just
A barge
garbage
is a
on
boat. A barge is a boat.
You could
Okay.
put cars on a barge?
Okay, they're
Wait,
not.
no.
They're not
Like,
my.
Somebody look
they're
that up
not
right
my-
now, please.
I like how they're shaking their head like, never, idiot.
Okay, any more? Do we have any more? Oh,
No hitchhiking.
Beat it.
Oh, it's
no,
a beat.
that's it. No hitchhiking.
I need one of those.
That's funny.
That is good.
really.
Do you need a sign to be told not to do that?
It's commonly seen near prisons. I didn't know
Yes,
that.
but they'll try and, well, you get it. The prisoners will hitchhike out.
You've never seen a sign, prison around
pick
here,
up
don't
hitchhikers.
pick it. You've never seen that?
Maybe I have. Maybe I have. Do we have any more?
Yes.
One more. Ooh.
bumpy roads ahead.
I actually
Gravel.
Think, I
You go from
actually
gravel
think
to
this is the
solid.
trucks. When trucks go too fast, they have that runaway with the
runaway.
gravel.
The ramp.
Runaway ramp gravel.
I thought it was be like you're going to drive into Sam's nightgown.
Yeah.
Like a cheetah.
What nightgown?
Cheetah outfit.
Let's see that. Can we see it one more
Okay.
time?
It means pavement ends.
Oh, okay.
So that's what I said.
Which
I
is a
just-
runaway truck ramp. That's a runaway truck ramp.
No,
The
it is
pavement
not.
ends.
I'm not
Yes,
sure
it
it
is.
No,
Pavement
there's a
ends.
hill and it
Ew,
says
Kelly Schubert, no.
I know. What's with
No.
the very cool?
The judginess.
critical over
Judgy
there.
corner.
Judgy corner over there. I think Kelly Schubert should start playing these games. Because apparently she knows it all.
She was really disgusted by that answer.
She was mad.
When she looked at me, she was like, gross.
Barge?
Yeah.
Just trying to help. All right, coming up on DBL, we're helping you look fabulous with this letter necklace. The incredible savings next in DBL Deal Blast.
Did I hear that? We got a cool 6131. Did you guys hear that? I just heard 61. Yes, that's the beauty police showing up, y'all. I hear that loud and clear. And today we're talking about y'all's nasty brushes at home that you're not cleaning. Let's get real for a second, guys. Cleaning your brushes are so important. I have met so many women who are breaking out, who have a lot of different issues, who think their makeup's breaking them out. And a lot of the time I have to go back to that one simple question. Do you clean your makeup brushes? And guess what that answer is? No. I don't know how to. Girl, what you mean you don't know how to? Do you clean yourself? Do you clean out a hairbrush? Do you clean off anything? Do you wash your forks? Do you wash your clothes? So, if you're washing all these other things in the world, why wouldn't you wash a makeup brush that's touching your face every day? You nasty. Now, we're gonna go ahead and back this up. I'm gonna go ahead and make sure that we are all educated and know how to clean our makeup brushes so everyone has a fair chance at being a clean, beautiful person going forward. Everyone's beautiful, by the way, but y'all need to be clean, oh. However, going back to basics, let's start with Dish Dawn soap. It's as easy as that, y'all. Dish Dawn soap. If it's safe to use on penguins, it can be used on your makeup brushes too. Now, how do we do this, you ask? All right, I'll let you know. You go ahead and you take your makeup brush, right? It's nice and dirty, all freak nasty, whatever you want to do. Okay, shout out to Megan Thee Stallion. Hey, girl. it's all nasty and dirty and whatnot. You go ahead and take your little dollop of shampoo or your brush cleaner or your dish Dawn soap, as easy as that, $2.99 at King Soopers. Rub it all up in your hand, get it all nice and filled up and lathered up with that soap, right? Take some cool to warm water, lukewarm if you may, and rinse it underneath the faucet. Yeah, it's as easy as that, y'all. Rinse it underneath the faucet until it looks nice and clean. You don't got
DBL Nation, get up off your couches, because it's time for DBL Deal Blast! That's right, we've teamed up with MorningSave.com to bring you the lowest prices on the hottest products. And here to help us out is our beauty model, Miss Denise Plant.
Ooh, the pressure's on. Good to see you, Brandon.
The pressure's on for the low, but you always bring the great deals.
I have so many great deals for you today.
All right, you ready to get this started?
Let's do it.
All right, Denise, when I'm gonna give a gift, it needs to be classy and it has to be high quality. And these right here look right up my alley.
I bring them both to you. Look at the D. I'm wearing it myself. Savvy C 18-karat gold-plated 1.5-inch large initial necklaces. Absolutely beautiful initial necklaces that offer in every single letter of the alphabet. Now, they're sure to turn heads. They're classy and beautiful. 18-karat plated for long-lasting, beautiful luster.
Ooh, 18 karat. That sounds like it's gonna be a little expensive. So how much is this gonna run me?
Normally, it would run you as much as $98, but today, only $25. Doing the happy dance, up to 74% off in savings.
Denise, you know, it takes a lot of effort for me to dress this well all the time. So what do you have for me that's gonna keep me looking sharp?
C'est la vie, Duo Press, HS100 steamer and iron. It's available in gold and silver. It features a ceramic-coated self-heating ironing plate and 1,150 watts of powerful steam. And there are two modes, steamer or dry iron, and you can just use it horizontally or vertically. So the new anti-drip technology keeps you safe while steaming, and this includes 3 accessories: water cup, travel bag, and brush attachment.
You can steam and iron at the same time. I know this is going to be expensive. How much are we talking?
Take it on the go. Normally as much as $100, but today $49.
49.
Savings up to 51% off.
Oh my gosh, 51. Yes. All right, so move on to this next one because Denise, I'm a busy guy and I love anything that saves me a little time. Now this next product can help anyone who's always rushing to get out of the house, right?
Okay, this one deserves a hip bump. Are you ready? Boom!
Already?
It's the 2-pack Gaga Goods Wi-Fi smart plugs. G-Home Smart Plug works with Alexa and Google to add voice control to any outlet. You can schedule lights, you can schedule fans, appliances to turn on and off automatically, or you can control them remotely when you're away. Simple to set up and simple to use. Just plug in, open the G-Home app, and start using your voice. It's that easy. Compact design keeps your second outlet free.
Well, you gave me a hip bump before you started explaining, so I know it's going to be a low price. How much are we talking?
That's true. Normally, it can run for 2 as much as $100. But today, because we're at Daily Blast Live, Deal Blast, get 2 for $25, savings up to 75% off.
75% off. Can we hit bump because we said 2? Absolutely. Now let's move over to this last one because I've been eyeing this. And you know what, Denise? I don't know if I told you or not, but I pride myself in being the best uncle ever. Hashtag Uncle Brandon. But even I need to step my game up. So this next item looks perfect for me to treat the nieces and the nephews.
This is Yum Yum from a Tum Tum West Bend soft serve ice cream machine. You can actually make delicious ice cream that the entire family will enjoy from home. It's a powerful electric motor mixes ice cream consistently for smooth, creamy results. It's easy to use. Even your nieces and nephews would like to do this with you. Its design actually lets you dispense your creation right from the machine into a cup or even a cone.
Oh my gosh, this is perfect for summer nights. How much is this gonna run?
Okay, normally as high as $60, but now it's $29.
$29.
We're talking savings up to 52% off.
50% off.
Yes.
You know what? I love it, but now I can't go home back to Virginia without it. My nieces and nephews gonna expect me to bring it.
You can buy it because it's so low.
Oh, absolutely. And if you all love these prices, go ahead and head on over to morningsave.com to snag these amazing products at the low prices that we were just talking about. And you can even visit morningsave.com on your smartphone. And ladies and gentlemen, can we get another round of applause for Miss Denise?
Thank you.
We'll be right back.
Promotional consideration.
sends
I was just
me a
reading
link of like the
things.
photos from the day.
But I looked it up, but I can't
It's not
find it.
coming up.
Emigration instead of immigration.
Emigrate.
Do you know that?
Yeah.
Emigrate's when you
When you leave your country, like if you move to Mexico, you'd be emigrating from the U.S.
To Mexico.
and immigrating to Mexico.
Right, exactly.
See, I never knew that.
So when
Did you guys know that?
Like the word emit is to send out, but I guess I-am is to come in.
I thought everything was immigrate. I'm going to immigrate to Mexico. They're going to immigrate here.
Yes.
I didn't know there was an emigrate.
Emigrate. That's kind of a nice name. What do you think? First name for a boy?
No.
Emigrate.
No.
That's a good, yeah, and then he leaves.
Did you know that?
No, I didn't know.
Yeah, I didn't know that.
I knew that.
I would
Does
tell
any-
you.
I like when I learn new things like
Me
that.
too. I will tell you that.
I thought it was spelled wrong in the prompter.
There you go. At
Was
least
that-
60% of what's
You're
always said,
emigrating,
I've never
too.
heard in my life.
Well, half of it's a toss-up anyway.
Yeah, if you leave your country to go to
It's the
another
truth.
country, you're emigrating to it. But if you're going into a new country, you're immigrating into it. Do y'all get it?
You know
Is that
that?
right?
You know the street, Leadsdale, whatever it's
Leedsdale.
called? There's a place on there, it's a restaurant, it says Chicago style.
Oh.
I don't know the name.
Oh,
of it.
I've seen that.
I think I know you're. Oh, I know you're talking about.
On
Every time I go
Colorado.
by, I
Yeah,
think
yeah,
you-
yeah.
On Colorado?
No, Leedsdale, like going if you're going to Costco. I know exactly what
Exactly.
you're talking about. Yeah,
Going
yeah.
to Costco,
Oh,
exactly.
for sure.
Do you guys turn your GPS on?
I've never
anymore?
been there.
Yeah.
I've never been
Every
there.
time I go by, I gotta take a picture of that for Jeff.
I know what you're talking about.
I've
If
been
you're
going to-
driving towards like my place, it's on
What's
the
your
right-hand
favorite
side.
style pizza?
Yeah.
That's a good question. Chicago, Detroit, or Brooklyn?
Detroit?
What's
Yeah.
Detroit pizza?
Super
I'm
fat.
from Detroit.
Like
What?
Blue Pan has
There's
Detroit
not
pizza.
a
I've never
thing
heard of
as
Detroit
I've never heard
pizza.
Detroit
Yeah, like
pizza.
Blue
It's
Pan
New
right
York
by
or Chicago.
No, there's a Detroit. Blue Pan, yeah.
Everybody
That's
woke
definitely third
You have to
place.
ask a food question, and that's all
What
you
is
have
it?
to do.
What's flat?
Detroit is flat or big, Kelly?
If you know what it
The only pizza to eat is New York.
is, New York or Chicago.
Chicago's like cake.
Super crusty. Super
cake.
crusty.
Take a piece of cake.
Detroit's just trying to get their hat in the
never
ring.
heard of Detroit.
That's not a thing.
You don't think it's a thing?
No, it's not.
Well, although Detroit
How many
is
signs have you seen
very
Detroit pizza
famous
sold
for,
here?
for Domino's and their Domino's Museum. You can go to the Domino's Museum in Detroit. I did. It's awesome.
Really?
It is so cool.
Why would anybody go to the Domino's?
Because you get to see how pizza's made. You get to meet the Noid.
I think we got it.
Remember the Noid? Remember the
You
Noid?
got it.
He's there.
He's like, it's yeast.
Sure he is.
Some
I'm sure
tomato
he's circling
sauce.
for the-
I gotta be honest with you, I'm from Chicago and I like New York style pizza.
Yeah.
Can I be honest? Chicago is too much.
It's a
No, once in a while I
Way
love.
too
much, guys.
Once in a while, like when I go
If I
home,
was
I
gonna
love
get- if
having
I was gonna
Chicago
get the
pizza.
tradition-
Welcome back to DBL. We love sharing your comments. What do we got? Tori or Al? Who has them this
It's
time?
me, Sam. Okay, Conchita says, I agree with Tori that the taco song is probably not the best song to play around hungry people. So that was well said. And also Latron says that the taco song is a crime against humanity. I second that emotion.
Yeah,
I
I
was
think.
super annoyed.
Never heard of it.
You're not only not thinking because of the loudness and how inhumane, because you're treating them like animals, you're also saying like, it's raining tacos over and over again to people who
You
are
can't
hungry.
sleep.
It's a terrible idea.
Yeah, every human being deserves to sleep. Come on, you guys. We'll see you tomorrow, same time, same place. Bye, guys.
We're here to talk Big Brother. I'm waiting for Big Jeff to come over here. We were heated talking about it earlier. He's taking it slow. He's like, I'm an old man and I'm moving real slow these days. All right, let's go up here. Come on.
He's the Russian guy. He's like the control room number 2. So
We're not out of the woods yet.
Yeah, so here, I'll give you guys. Oh, go ahead. No.
We're talking about Big Brother. Have you been watching?
Please go. I know.
So Jeff and I were getting, let's go over here. We were getting a little heated earlier talking about Big Brother, and I think a lot of you guys have the same sentiments, but have you been reading the live feeds? We don't want to give any spoilers, but some of our DBL Nationers say things may have flipped in the house, and so we may see something else tonight.
Well,
I
as a
know.
viewer, like you guys are, I would love for things to flip
Me
in the house.
too. It's time.
I'm an underdog guy, and I feel like when me and Jordan played, we were the underdogs as well. Just
Yep.
especially that first season, I felt like being in the house, and this is honestly, I'm like, wow, I always thought I was a cool guy, and I'm a loser.
You know what I mean? That's
but
how
just
I felt in the house.
And I told, we were talking about this earlier. I said just because you're not on the winning end doesn't make you a loser, but it technically does.
Yeah, but
I
in
mean,
that
it
house, your
technically
mind
does. Yeah, your
kind of
mind gets
races.
all, I
so
can't imagine.
I definitely agree with people thinking that it's a mob mentality because
It
that's what I
is.
thought.
Yep.
But you have to understand, being in that house does something with your mind, and you kind of it definitely gives you that mob mentality. So you think you're in the cool kids club.
Yeah.
When they weren't letting like Ovi in
That
the door
was
and like
awful.
and we're like, hey, can I talk to you? And they just slam the door.
And like, no, not
never
now,
do that.
Ovi. Not now, Ovi.
Yeah,
I'm like, I told Jeff,
never
I
do
don't think I've ever seen that happen in the history of Big Brother. Like, no, not now. Like, you can't come in here, go away. Like,
Yeah, so I felt bad for Nicole. So now
I
I'm
wish
really
she had stuck
pulling
up for herself a
I
little
hope
more.
Nicole stays, even though I do like
yes, me too.
the older guy. I forgot his name now, but
Cliff.
Cliff, I do like
Yeah.
Cliff, but now I'm really pulling for Nicole.
Same
But
here.
why didn't she stick up for herself? The other girls are lying, not her. So I wish she would have stuck up
Me
for herself.
too. All right,
if
we'll
she
see what happens
did,
tonight.
If she did on the live feeds, let us know.
Yeah.
Because I didn't see it on
All
the
right,
regular
guys,
show.
we'll debrief tomorrow after the show tonight. Bye.
This is Daily Blast Live. We're talking about what you're talking about.
Because everyone's talking about this.
Always live, always real, always unpredictable.
You are totally off base here.
Log on and join our live conversation.
You think this hair just naturally stays like this?
DBL starts right now.
3, 2. Welcome to Daily Blast Live. It's Thursday, July 18th. I'm here with Erica, Tori, and Al. I'm Jeff. Let's get to it, guys. The president used his rally in North Carolina to again target 4 minority Democratic congresswomen. The crowd chanted against Ilhan Omar of Minnesota, who is a Muslim. Let's watch.
Omar has a history of launching vicious anti-Semitic screeds.
Meantime, a protester interrupted the president holding 2 small printouts of Trump with Jeffrey Epstein with the words child rapist across it. He obviously was removed with his hands behind his back, and a lot of people are calling the send her back chant racist. Now, guys, we want to know what you think. What do you guys think? Would you expect this at a Trump rally? Or is this just racist, or would you expect this at a Trump rally? Go to dblvote.com to weigh in. And please, guys, we're going to be having this vote up throughout the show. We really want to test the waters of our DBL Nation to see what you guys think. So please be honest, because we want that conversation brought to our table.
Yeah, I just want to point out 2 things as you guys are voting. And again, we're going to leave it up just like Jeff said, which I think is a great idea to get a count. Yesterday's Trump's comments that you guys were like 51, 55, so kind of even. So we'll see where we are at the end. 2 things that stand out to me here are, one, that Trump didn't say it. This came organically, or he had people in the crowd saying it. So that's the mob coming up with a new slogan. So that's become a different kind of monster when you have other people sort of yelling it out and he isn't directing it. Number 2, when you say send her back, that's very different than she can go back. Okay, so both of them are super racist, in my opinion, but she can go back gives choice. When you say send her back, now we're talking about forcing human beings to another location. So that to me is Hitler, Mussolini, dictator, tyrant. And it's hard for me to understand, even though I want to, how you don't see that on the other side. So make sure you guys write us in, because sending her back is very different verb than she can go back. Both are bad. One's getting way worse, in my opinion.
Well, I think it's like any parent when they say, oh, I gave you an inch and you took a mile.
Yeah.
I mean, that's what happens when we normalize racist tendencies or racist leaning, or what was the thing yesterday? Questionably racist behavior. When that's emboldened, then it becomes racist behavior, and then it becomes something that people act on. One thing that stands out to me is there is a girl on the right-hand side of the screen during that rally who's about 10 years old, and she joins in the chant. And
oh, there she is.
The blonde girl on the right. What could she be, a 10, 11?
Oh, I see in the bottom right,
Yeah.
Like 4 o'clock.
Because that's the most disturbing part of it.
Even Piers Morgan, by the way, who's a Trump supporter, has said this was very disturbing and is like fascism. So even a Trump supporter can say, hey, I'm not comfortable with this. That's okay to do.
I think it was like a little bit like to what Erica was pointing out. I think that's mob mentality. You know, I think they were getting excited. I think someone started that chant, and they all felt like that was a good thing to do. The president should have shut it down. I don't care what side of the aisle channel you're on. If Democrats were doing this, if Republicans were doing this, if a chant like that of negativity like that starts, it is racist, guys. And you got to shut that down, whoever's speaking, whether it be the president or a presidential candidate. We can't have our country running like this. We're missing people. You know, I was talking about this earlier, and I listened to like motivational things in the morning, and Dr. Martin Luther King comes up a lot. A lot of his quotes, a lot of his inspirations come up in the things that I listen to. And this has nothing to do with color of skin or anybody. We have nobody to inspire us in this country anymore. There are no more MLKs. He was in the face of adversity, racism, hate, every single day, things you can't imagine, the lowest place you could be as a human, going out in public and giving these speeches. And he caught up. He was always kind, always brilliant, always positive, always forward thinking. Where is that person in our today's society?
You know, you brought this up earlier, and I really thought about it. I feel like there are always people like that. There are always people who are willing to be positive, and we don't give them that platform because being positive isn't sexy. It's not cool anymore. In fact, we're starting to call people out who are positive, who are empathetic, as weak. That's the reason why everyone is turned into this rhetoric of let's bully each other, let's be stronger than the next, make my voice louder. People who are organically like that aren't going to be heard because there's way too much noise that we continue to entertain. So I do believe that people are out there trying to lead and trying to mobilize people in positive, empathetic ways. We just don't have the space for them because we're listening to this.
Yeah. I think we need to make space. All right, guys, let's check out this final vote, but we're going to be doing this throughout the show, right?
Yeah.
So we're not going to get a final vote till the end. All right, guys. And just whip
Nice
my pen
job,
down
buddy.
there. That was a good transition.
We're live.
Right now, a dangerous heat wave is hitting the U.S. Let's get over to Kelly Schubert with news at the moment.
Jeff, officials say this intense heat wave is not something to mess around with. Get this weekend in D.C., it could feel as hot as Death Valley. And there's no escaping it. It's going to be a coast-to-coast roast with over 200 million people under some sort of heat advisory. So DBL Nation, how will you stay cool during this dangerous heat wave? Let me know using the hashtag DBLTake.
All right, thank you so much, Kelly. Everyone is obsessed with an app that ages you. I'm sure if you have social media, you've seen this. Millions have used FaceApp, including celebs like the Jonas Brothers, but now a leading lawmaker says it could be a national security risk. Turns out Russians own the app, and everyone who uses it may have compromised their personal photos and data. Senator Minority Leader Chuck Schumer has called on the FBI to investigate. That's how serious this is.
Yeah, it's really bad.
But who cares? Because I got a cute photo on Instagram.
Yeah, but I look like Ernest Hemingway. That's what everyone said. Someone put out, this is a Russian app, and I'm like, good one. That's hilarious. And then I'm like, oh, no, it is? Oh, we all have our faces in there? So Americans looked and were like, yeah! And Russians are like, yes. So just know that we all have our face in there, and it's compilated for age progression.
They should make another app of like what your face looks like when you find out it's a Russian app. And then that way you'd be like, oh, this is what you look like when you realize we got you again because you're a narcissist. And you want to look at your own face, which is really crazy.
That is good.
We should have used that as a segment.
Okay.
I really like that idea. I thought that was genius.
All right, we got it.
Oh, you are the funniest person I know.
Okay.
Look at Tori breaking up the law.
You too, Erica.
Thanks.
All right, we got to move on. A 50-year-old message in a bottle has been found, and the man who wrote it has been located. But get this, he wrote the message when he was just 13, while his family was on a ship emigrating from England to Australia. He was looking for a pen pal when he wrote the letter and threw it overboard. He is now 63 years old. Let me put some context to this. He still doesn't know that somebody found it. His family said, oh, that's him.
Why are you air quoting that?
Because it's not him.
It is him.
How do you know?
Because he put out 6 messages in a bottle to find a friend in that big old world out there. And someone found it, and he's going to make a friend.
But he didn't even confirm it.
Well, he will.
I don't know. I think this is embarrassing. I mean, they found him on a boat because he wasn't doing anything 13 and 50 years passed, and he's still doing nothing. He could get out there and live life, but he decided to stay on the deck and look at life in the passenger seat. So this is what he deserves.
When you're on a boat, you think
he
about
should be fined for littering. There, I said it.
Littering? When you're on a boat,
Can you throw something out of your car window?
No, but
that's what he did. Except
use no romanticism about messages in a bottle reaching someone
Absolutely
else.
not.
None.
No.
What is wrong with you?
I'm sorry. I don't want to just hit up some random person stuck on an island and be like, I love you. I think that's crazy.
You didn't have a pen pal growing up?
No, Erica, I wasn't incarcerated.
Pen pal?
No!
Such a jerk.
Pen pal?
What am I doing? A pen pal?
What? We all
I was
had
on
a pen
fire.
pal. Did you
I
have a
don't-
pen pal?
I had a pen
No,
pal.
I had friends.
Thank you, Jeff.
Me and Al are best friends. Where did you stop there?
Pen pals are excellent ways to form interpersonal communication.
Who do you have a pen pal? Like, I'm serious. How do you
My
find a
pen pal was Claire. Claire was in London.
Mine too.
How did you find them?
Well, Claire actually was my former babysitter, and she moved back to London.
Claire is a 54-year-old man in his garage writing you. That's
No,
not a real.
she's not.
Then where is she now, Erica?
I don't know where Claire
What happened to
is.
your romantic relationship with Claire? Well,
It wasn't romantic. She was my babysitter.
How did you find your pen pal?
I went to a hotel. I met the hotel's daughter named Clementine, and we said, hey, do you want to be pen pals? I was like 7 in London. When we got back, we would write each other.
and where's she at now?
She's fine.
That's what.
She's
okay.
fine.
DBL is live, and coming up, Kathy Griffin is throwing major shade at former bestie Anderson Cooper. You won't believe what she said about her relationship with his late mother. Plus, the Real Housewives of New York serve up the drama at their reunion, the juicy highlights in Reality Roundup. And you, the viewer, are the fifth host. A city in California wants to ban words like manhole, manpower, and chairman, men, and replace them with gender-neutral words. So DBL Nation, has the PC police struck again? Your comments next.
Sorry. I wanted to say this one comment that I thought is the best of the day, and I want to hear what you guys all have to say about it. I thought he was sleeping again, but he's just getting his makeup done. Mary Ann Com from Facebook says, racism is so American that when you protest it, people think you're protesting America.
That's a famous quote.
I thought so. It's a quote. She didn't put quotes around it, so I didn't know who to ascribe it to, but nonetheless, a very interesting...
Tori's like, we have a commenter that says, ask not what you can do.
7 years ago. It's appropriate. Stop mocking me. It's appropriate. It wasn't. Yeah. Okay. Well, she didn't put quotes around it, but it is appropriate for today. And I hadn't really thought of it that just when someone says to me, "You're un-American because you're protesting the president," that's why America was founded, to challenge and to go against authority and to question. Thomas Jefferson would be all for that. James Madison, George Washington. That is why these people left England and a king and a monarch. They wanted the ability to question authority. So it's the most patriotic thing I can do is to challenge and to read quotes from very famous people and not cite them. No, I'm kidding.
I mean, what if we were talking about women's suffrage? You know,
Right.
somebody was like, oh, women should vote. If you don't like the women can't vote,
Leave.
get out of here.
No, I'm gonna better my
There's
country.
a reason that people protest for things.
That's right.
There's a group of voters who we don't talk about. Like a group of people, because you talk about the apathetics.
Yeah.
But then there are people who believe, I go to the polls, I vote. Now you do it. So it's like there's a disconnect because they don't want to be involved in the.
Like
Oh,
you-
yeah,
What do you
for
mean
sure.
you do it? Like you finish the
No,
government?
yeah.
Like
You run
Like
the
they did their part, but yeah, I know what
Oh,
you're saying, you know?
Kennedy made that quote.
Don't ask
That's not
why
what
you-
your country can do for you, but what you can do
for your country.
Welcome back to DBL. It's time for Fifth Host, and we talk about what you guys are talking about. Berkeley, California is banning gender-based words from the city codes. Manhole will now be maintenance hole. Policemen and women will now be police officers. And no more chairman, it's now chairperson. So DBL Nation, will replacing gender language in city codes make a difference? Let's get to their comments.
All right, Philip from Facebook says this is the first step in overhauling our vocabulary to reflect what our world really looks like. Philip, I would have to agree. I give a shout out to my sister Ebony, who has publicly come out to say that she goes by non-gender pronouns and what that means to her, and how your misuse of her pronouns isn't her problem. It's a brilliantly written piece, and I just say respect how people want to be addressed, and that's what we should do.
Erica, did she publish that piece anywhere we can find and read it?
She hasn't, and she said she's going to.
I hope she does.
She told me I was free to share it, but I would like for her to share it, the whole thing first, and then I can share it more.
Sounds good. I can't wait to read it. You send it to other people, but not me. Carissa from Facebook says, this is definitely positive, but extreme, and by that I mean an extreme waste of time. Carissa, I think you speak for a lot of people. They like things the way that they are. This is about progression, and some people are interested in doing that. Some people are not. Doesn't make you a good person, doesn't make you a bad person, but don't forget that language is reflected a lot in our thought, and the way that we think the world is helps the world become that place. So it just is trying to be more inclusive. I think that's where they're going. If you choose not to get on board, that's your choice.
That's true. All right, Diane from Facebook says, I love this, and I hope it becomes the new normal. Words are powerful. Thanks, Diane. I totally agree with you. I don't care about the manhole, though. Manhole's hilarious, by the way, as a word anyway, but maintenance hole, I don't change it. It's an object. When it has to do with getting ahead in life, with jobs, yeah, make it gender neutral so that chairman isn't the top of a business, it's chairperson. And I think in 5 years, the millennials and all that, no one's going to notice. It's just going to be chairperson. So don't think it's such a big change.
Well, Tori, you're a millennial, so why don't you refer to millennials as another group? Because you know that you're not a millennial.
I am a millennial.
You're not. You're a fake millennial.
I'm not. 1982, according to Pew Research.
Fake news.
Oh. It's not 82. It's 81. It's 82, according to the Pew Research.
Don't look at me.
Someone look this up.
I thought we already did. All right, Danny from Facebook says, I'm glad they didn't resort to human hole to replace manhole. I can live with maintenance hole. There was a bar in Chicago called the Manhole. I'm just saying, there really was.
I think it was on Belmont.
Yeah. But here's my thing. Now is Neil Armstrong. Neil Armstrong, is he a chauvinistic pig because he said one giant step for mankind? No. What about Mother Nature? I'm hurt by that. We need to fix that because
Jeff,
I feel
will say this,
like I'm being attacked.
They did start naming hurricanes male names as well, so they did cross the aisle on that.
Yeah,
well, where's Mother Nature?
Because you guys have really had it hard for the past couple decades.
Well,
I thought every other hurricane was named male, female, male, female.
No, they were all female for a while, and then we stepped up.
How about boats? Boats are always called females. She's doing a good job.
Yeah.
Was that an accent?
Yeah.
That's also ownership over femininity, but we can talk about that later.
Eric always gets a good point.
That's a good point. See, I can admit when there's a good point. DBL Nation, quick reminder, you can still vote in our poll. Is the Send Her Back chant racist, or is this what you'd expect at a Trump rally? Please go vote, guys. Go to dblvote.com to weigh in, and we'll share your results in just a bit. Coming up on DBL, Tupac may be long dead, but he might have gotten a super fan fired from his job. We'll explain what happened. And there's no shortage of drama when the Real Housewives of Potomac get together. The explosive moments next in Reality Roundup.
Hey guys, Kelly Schubert here with the DBL Digital team. I'm tracking all the breaking and trending news, but right now it's time for Fast Blast, where I bring you all the news you need to know in under 2 minutes. Let's get that timer up. Here we go. Intense video coming in from Japan right now. Take a look at this fire that killed more than 30 people. Now, it happened at one of Japan's most popular anime studios. Apparently, a man in his 40s went into the building and shouted, "You die," before he poured a gasoline and started the blaze. He's now in police custody, but a very sad scene there in Kyoto today. Instagrammers in many countries are seeing something different on their feeds today. No more likes. The social media app has hidden the number of likes for users in Australia as they test out a way to remove pressure from the digital platform.
Good day, mate.
Now, you'll still be able to see how many likes your own post gets, but you won't be able to see the amount of likes on your friends' posts. Now, this isn't being tested in the US or the UK yet, but it could hit our phones within the next month. Now, DBL Nation, do you think this is a good idea, or does it take away from the entire point of Instagram? Here's a good reminder to be your own biggest cheerleader. Game of Thrones is nominated for a record 32 Emmy nominations this year, despite fans not being too pleased with how the season ended. But HBO actually didn't submit all of the nominations. Gwendolyn Christie, aka Badass Brienne of Tarth, submitted herself and got a nomination. How cool is that? I guess it's a little frustrating that HBO didn't cough up the $220 it takes to nominate each of its amazing actors, but props to Gwendolyn for believing in herself. Alfie Allen and Carice Van Houten also submitted themselves and grabbed nominations. And speaking of amazing TV shows, get ready, Upper East Siders. Gossip Girl is officially getting a reboot. Now, you can act like you didn't love this show, but we all know that's not true. Rumors have been swirling about a reboot for years, and HBO Max has just picked it up. The bad news, Serena and Blair won't be in the show. But the cool thing about the reboot is that we're all in different times now. Social media tells all. So will Gossip Girl be able to stay anonymous? That's one secret I'll never tell. XOXO, Gossip Girl.
At Daily Blast Live. I have no idea what I'm saying because the prompter's stuck. Oh, here we go. So Erica and Tori and we got Reality Roundup coming your way. Let's roll it.
First up on the Real Housewives of Potomac, the ladies throw down at a hoedown. Check it out.
Why don't you go over there? Since y'all are good friends now, right here. Go over there and be with her. You're not going to talk to me like I'm a child. Wait. Who you talking to, little girl? I'm talking to you. Yeah, walk away. Don't start. I will still drag you pregnant and all. Oh, you going to drag me now? I will drag you. Now you going to drag me. I'll drag you. Oh, drag me, Monique.
Erica, did she get dragged?
She didn't get dragged, and Monique's going to be in big trouble with her husband because he is very protective of her when she's pregnant or all the time.
As he should be, though.
But it's interesting because Candace is like, I want to stay away from all this negativity, but the center of all the negativity is her.
I know.
How are you going to be in a fight with your mama, your husband, your best friend, your semi-best friend, and yourself? That's you, girl.
And that's you. And that's not good for the baby.
It's not. It's not. No. She's not pregnant. Monique is pregnant.
Oh, that's
Candace
right. I'm getting confused.
Yeah.
Still not good for the baby.
No, it's not.
Yeah. Okay, next up, the ladies of New York City come together for the reunion show. So good. Dorinda is left in tears when she confronts Luann.
You decided at some point that I can never do any right by you.
No.
After I stood by you like a soldier.
You stood by me like a soldier and then you let me down.
Because you took another person that I love in my life and decided to all over them.
No, I did not.
But that's fine.
That's
you
not
take
true,
in
Dorinda.
Luann.
I've always liked Dorinda, and I know she can go a little crazy, but I think Luann might have lit some fires that kind of blew up while she was overly drinking, and I'm wondering if that was one of these things.
Well, it was when she was sober that a lot of Luann,
you're right. I'm trying to
that a lot of Luann and Dorinda's, you saw their relationship fall apart. Now they did make up.
Yeah. Right.
So we should mention that. Do you believe, because we've seen some makeup and some breakups, right? Do you think that this one's going to stick?
I think so, and I was really happy to see that.
Me too.
Anytime you have a relationship where you pray for one another, that is a deeper relationship than just like, oh, we're on the show together. But I also think Luann was wrong, but they could have cut her a lot more slack.
I completely
she
agree.
just got out of rehab, and there was zero empathy for that.
Yep.
Interesting.
Yep, I completely agree. All right, finally on the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills reunion, Andy Cohen drops a bombshell about Lisa's future with the franchise. Watch.
Lisa Vanderpump told a reporter yesterday she wouldn't be attending the reunion and also that she won't be returning as a housewife next season.
She did not go to that reunion. She was not there. Now, we still have 2 more parts. Maybe she will somehow show up.
I think she's done.
You think she's done,
I think she's done because she wants to control. She has her own empire. And also know that Andy Cohen executive produced that, so it's the whole show. So I wonder if he was caught off guard as well as a producer.
Well,
that she just didn't
there's a new queen in town. Erica knows this. I don't know if Tori does. As we all mourn Lisa's departure, okay, Erica Jane is ready to announce to the ladies that they have a new leader.
Oh, cool.
Check it out.
She is the queen. She's the leader of the group.
She is the leader. She binds us together.
That's right. She's the binding. She's the center.
Wow.
That's very sweet, Erica. Thank you. Thank you.
I agree.
Quickly, the new queen.
She's always kind of been the binder
and she's
together.
an OG too, one of the original cast members.
The only original cast
I know.
member left.
Well, aside from Lisa, and Lisa's gone. So there you go.
Bye, Lisa.
All right, we got a new queen, folks. Kyle Richards. Congrats to her. Thank you for joining us here at Reality Roundup, the Real Housewives edition. We will be right back.
Promotional consideration is brought to you by
We have too many viewers. What can we do? Get Tori to do crosswords in front of them until they go away.
I will say that yesterday was Wednesday, and I did the whole puzzle, and that's kind of rare for me because they get
Really?
harder throughout the day.
Have you ever done a third? You've never done a
They
Friday,
get harder
huh?
throughout the day.
They get harder throughout the week.
Man, this was way easier at 10 o'clock.
Do you think they're hard on Friday because they know that you have plenty of time because you're not dating?
That's way harsh.
I used to do crossword puzzles at the bar when I would go like out with a
See,
girlfriend in
that's
Chicago,
cool.
and it would get harder minute to minute.
Just get drunker. I love it.
You know what's weird? I'm more of a Sudoku guy.
So you're a numbers dude.
I'm a numbers
you know
guy.
Me
I've
with
never
numbers.
done
word
Sudoku.
person.
Erica said 1981 is a millennial. I thought that was earlier than. I didn't understand what you're saying, so I apologize. I'm so stupid.
So,
It is.
are you a millennial? or
It
not?
is. It all goes back to 81. It goes
Yeah.
all the way back to 81. So I am a millennial.
I just know that because I am the eldest millennial.
You're the eldest millennial, and you're 81.
Yeah.
Yeah. Did you hear that?
What?
Oh my God, Al. Hello. Ahoy, ahoy. I am a millennial, as is Erica. For a second, you can't put your phone down?
You have a crossword in your hand.
Sorry.
Yeah. So how about
Good
that?
point, Al.
Yeah, thank you.
I was on fire today.
Okay, let's do
Jeopardy
a question.
auditions.
Let's do a
should
question.
do
You
that.
guys ready? You guys all
Like
write
white
in.
men can't
What
jump.
is a bean harvested by the Aztecs? It is 5 letters. A bean harvested.
Fava.
That's 4 letters, dude.
Frapra.
What's your guess?
Oh.
Pinto? Pinto's good. Anyone else? Pinto?
I think Jody just said coffee.
That's 6
6.
letters. I get
I've
pinto
heard of
bean
pinto
at
bean,
Chipotle.
but is that Aztecs?
Chipotle is Aztec, and they have pinto beans. Or are they
Take
Mayan?
it easy.
Maybe it's pinto. Okay.
David's all worked up down there.
Okay, here's
Chipotle
this.
came out of
Put pinto
nowhere.
down. He's gonna.
It's a Mayan word.
No one said sriracha, and then it just showed up like 7 years ago. Now sriracha everything.
Okay, how about this? That's my blank, and it's 3 letters.
That's my jam.
Okay, that's my jam? It's blank, 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 and we think blank P blank if it's pinto. That's my spy. That's my.
I don't understand that.
That's my jam.
You. I think
I
that's
was
my
gonna say
jam.
that's my dog.
That's my dog.
Oh, that's my dog.
Have you guys ever heard the phrase "on dogs"?
No.
No. It's a way to say like I swear.
On dogs?
Yeah.
Cool. No, I've never heard that.
It was a phrase, I think, like a figure of speech back in the day, like in the 70s and 80s, early 80s, and then it went away, and now millennials are saying it on dogs.
That reminds me of. Welcome back to DBL. All show long, we've been asking you to vote in our online poll. Is the send her back chant racist, or is this what you'd expect at a Trump rally? And the results are in. Let's check them out. A little different than yesterday. 66% say yes, 34% still say no.
Yeah, and we're getting some really strong comments from the other side, and we know we want to give the whole side, so here are some comments from you guys. Stuart Craven says, Muslim is not a race. Somali is not a race. Who is making it racist? That's interesting. I think people are saying because he pointed out 4 people of color only when other people are immigrants and they're white, and he's not pointing them out. I think that's what people are saying. Brian Terrell, she brought this on herself with her anti-Semitic comments and her hatred towards Israel. And Kevin Hunter says, I'm starting to think that politicians are unacceptable.
There we go. Thanks for hearing the other side, or at least we can. Here's what's coming up next on DBL.
Kathy Griffin throws more fuel on the fire in her feud with Anderson Cooper. The shady way she described her relationship with his late mother. Plus, did an employee's obsession with Tupac go too far? You won't believe what he did to get himself fired. And summer is all about road trips. But can you figure out what the heck these road signs even mean? Play along with our road sign game when DBL comes back.
Hi, DBL Nation. We're back. We had tiny technical difficulties, but with teamwork, we got the problem solved. So I have a story on Toys R Us. Did you think it was gone forever? Sad, you're no longer a Toys R Us kid. Turns out it's back. It's going to come back in very small stages. There is a store opening in Texas and a store opening in New Jersey. And after this happened, I'm not quite sure how it's going to go, because with the power of Amazon and even the big competitors like, let's say, Walmart, Target, Best Buy, even, like, the popular thing now is online orders, online sales, and delivery. So do you think Toys R Us can survive in this new environment, or do you think it's going to have to modernize a little bit? Maybe I can see it surviving if it takes itself online and maybe like getting great deals that you can't get anywhere else. But coming back as Toys R Us as the original, I'm not sure it could happen. Or maybe it's a place where you can try out the toys, because that's what's going to kind of get eliminated, is that brick and mortar concept. But talk to you later.
Talking about what you're talking about.
Because everyone's talking about this.
Always live, always real, always unpredictable.
You are totally off base here.
Log on and join our live conversation.
You think this hair just naturally stays like this?
DBL starts right now.
3, 2.
Welcome to Daily Blast Live. Let's get started. I'm loving these new intros.
I know, they're so fast.
Comedian Kathy Griffin is throwing major shade in an interview with BuzzFeed. She talks about her relationship with CNN anchor Anderson Cooper. She says he won't make up with her after that whole Trump head fiasco thing, but she might have taken it too far when she talked about his late mother. Let's listen.
I really was really in love with Anderson's mom, the great Gloria Vanderbilt, and she let me call her Glo Vandy, and she gave me so many life lessons. We would chat, and I actually kind of knew her better than Anderson in a way. And I hear her voice today saying things like, you know, your whole life can change in one phone call, and that's true.
Water into. She also threw some shade at Andy Cohen, who was her old boss. I mean, we could play the clip if we want. But I mean, what's worse is that she called out Anderson Cooper's mother. She died this month.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
I think this is really terrible.
Why would anyone trust her again? Why would anyone befriend her?
It's a great point. I mean, at some point, if you've ever known anything about Gloria Vanderbilt and Anderson, they've had to work to make that relationship work. His big brother jumped out a window in front of his mom. They never spoke about it. Like, there's been traumatic things in that family. And to just casually say on the month of her passing, well, I was closer than our son, it's a dig, and it's unnecessary, and it's just not
dig.
Nice.
That's a nice way to put it.
Yeah.
And to me, that's something that someone says once they truly believe that a reconciliation is not going to happen. Because for you, Al, you said earlier, like, what's the saying? Like, keep my mama's name out your mouth.
Especially after their passing.
Yeah. Yeah,
so we all
those
agree
are like straight up fighting words, to be honest.
Literally.
And she's taking this very personally. If you don't know, she and Anderson Cooper and Andy Cohen, who are themselves on tour together and very good friends, she's lost touch with both of them, and she's just going after them.
And this is all over the Donald Trump head thing?
Yeah,
wow. It
is. She's lost that friendship, and she blames them. She really has taken it out on them.
Yeah, that's, I mean, but this is my only thing I'll say in defense of Kathy Griffin. And I wonder if all the people that have made her who she is have some implication in this, because Kathy Griffin is paid to stir the you-know-what, and it's paid to push the envelope. People do not tune in to hear Kathy Griffin really do anything but kind of be a raconteur for all things Hollywood, to really push the envelope, to be like, oh, guess what I heard backstage? Britney Spears, she had a breakdown. And people pay to hear that, but then when she pushes it too far, everybody's like, I'm done with you. And this had, Erica, you've been in radio forever. I know that back, especially in the shock jock era, this is a thing. They were told by their program director, push, do that edgy bit, do that crazy phone call scam. And then when they go too far and they get 10 phone calls saying I was offended, then they get fired.
Al, my first year in morning radio in Chicago, we had a segment called To Catch a Freak, where we would put someone, or put a call out, like looking for like whatever in like Craigslist, and people would call the station and we'd have them on the air, and I was the person talking to them. So it's like insane things like that, because I never in the million years would do something like that or even think to do something like that. But in the moment, you're like, oh, well, this is the most popular, and it was the most popular segment on the radio, To Catch a Freak.
And there was period of time where she was the most popular Hollywood insider, joke teller kind of person. So it just shows you, like, once that falls out of favor, everybody's like, how could she? But for 20 years,
she made her career.
Y'all plopped down your dollars and sat in that seat.
I think just to counter that is that what she did when she spilled the tea was sort of funny, and this wasn't very clever or funny.
Yeah, exactly. All right, guys, let's move on. Luann de Lesseps is setting the record straight about her stint in rehab. Many have speculated that one of her fellow Real Housewives, Bethany Frankel, paid for it, but she says that's not true. Let's listen.
No, she didn't. She helped. But the network actually paid for that. So I want to clarify that. You're the only ones that know it. I said it here right now.
There you go.
She helped make that happen, absolutely, and I give her credit for that, but the network covered that for me, which was great.
Bravo for Bravo.
Yeah, but as they should have, man. I mean, a lot of Erica, you're making that face, and I know what that face is. They fire a lot of times. People are like, how could she act like that on TV? How could he take his shirt off and act like that in this house? It's because they're hopped up on all the booze.
Yeah.
They give these people as somebody that's come from a world of comedy that fed his kids for 12 years on stand-up comedy. For a long time, alcohol was part of it. Not like it was part of it. You got free drinks. You got drinks for the show. You had a drink on stage, drink in between shows, drink on stage, and then all the drinks after. You take that 52 weeks a year and then times that by 10 years, and there's a lot of comics that had issues with alcohol. And I think, how long have these shows been on now?
A long time.
A long time. So think about that. I mean, I'm sure as soon as they yell rap on the season, they're like, they don't go sober. I'm sure it continues. And I think they do. Do you guys think that there's any hand to be played in this?
Oh, for sure. I did a comeback with a former reality TV star, and she was talking about that. Like, the more outrageous there was, the more she would be guaranteed another season. Yeah. And then she got to the point where it really seeped into her real life, and she couldn't get off that ride.
It's called liquid courage for a reason.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I agree. I would I agree with, as a comic, I would drink so much before, and then suddenly I was drinking a lot after, and then I was drinking in between, and then I was like, I can't continue this lifestyle because I would.
That's really honest of you. I appreciate it. I was the same way. Yeah.
They pay you in drinks instead of money.
Right.
So you get free, and you're like, cool, and it's like all of a sudden that's your currency. It's a really weird lifestyle.
Yeah. Yeah, well, maybe they do have, whatever it is, I'm glad they're helping her out.
Yeah.
But maybe they felt like they had a hand in it as well.
You said Big Brother didn't do that. They kind of a beer and a half or something like that?
Yeah, maybe at the most, 2 beers a week.
Right.
At CBS versus Bravo, exactly.
Yeah,
There's a difference.
They don't want it. They don't want any of that, but teach their own, I guess. All right, guys. Moments ago, the trailer for the new Top Gun was released. This is breaking news. Calvina Weaver has her first look.
Is Jeff. Tom Cruise surprised everyone by making an appearance at Comic-Con today to show off the Top Gun sequel.
The end is inevitable, Maverick. Your kind is headed for extinction.
Maybe so, sir. But not today.
Now, is everyone feeling the nostalgia right now? Top Gun Maverick comes out next year.
I'm so excited. I'm so excited. Right? And why isn't anyone talking?
No, Top Gun was never watchable for me.
What?
I ain't like that.
Dude, Goose.
Goose? Maverick? Iceman?
I couldn't even pretend on that one, and being like, the only black girl in the suburbs.
Oh, there we go.
I got you, Tori. I got you.
Yes.
I'm excited too.
Thanks, Raquel.
Yes.
I'm excited too. I'm with you on this one, Tori. Come on.
Come on.
He looks
the danger
fantastic.
zone.
No, not so much. All right, did one man's obsession with Tupac get him fired? That's what a lot of people suspect about Jerry Foxhoven. He is the former director of Iowa's social service agency, and he declared his love for the late rapper through emails and Tupac Fridays. The Associated Press says he even celebrated his 65th birthday with Tupac cookies that said Thug Life. I would have loved to work for this guy. It came to a head when Jerry sent out mass emails, I should say, telling employees to celebrate Tupac's birthday. He resigned the next day. Now we know it's not because of his love for Tupac. The governor of Iowa says it was due to a number of factors.
Yeah, I think one was he was annoying his coworkers to death.
Maybe.
I don't know.
Tell them how many pages.
He sent over 350 emails Tupac-related emails, which I don't think people that still run Tupac's estate have sent. That's a lot of Tupac-related material. But, you know, I just think it probably got obsessive. And whether this was his kids or his favorite, if the Dallas Cowboys, it's just after a while when you bring your personal stuff into work and it's every day, it's not like, hey, me and my kids, we did this for Thanksgiving. Here's our Christmas photo. This is like an everyday thing. And I would think it's hilarious, but I think a lot of people like, enough.
Yeah, Tupac, I mean, whether or not you love him, and I think we all agree we love him, some people find the language, he has very mature language in his raps, and maybe they felt uncomfortable. And you can't keep continually press and press and press. I would have been fine with it, but some people might have had a problem.
How about this, Tupac or Biggie? Take one.
I'm going, I got to go Biggie. I'm sorry, I'm East Coast dude.
Wow, I'm a Biggie guy too.
Tupac.
Wow, all right. Do you want to get on the email chain?
Nah.
I would like to get a printout of all those emails. They're available somewhere. He works for a public, that's
not anymore.
Yeah.
Oh, Lord.
All right, guys. We want to send best wishes to actress Valerie Harper. The 79-year-old has been battling cancer since 2013 after beating lung cancer in 2009. Now her family has started a GoFundMe to help with medical costs. Very sad. They've already raised over $54,000. But for her to have to do this.
I know. Now, I remember I'd go to Hollywood and I'd interview those Where Are They Now stars. And a lot of time they didn't get full residuals. And so you think, well, they are Gilligan's Island is still being played and they never got a cent of that money. I'm not saying she is from there, but I'm wondering how many residuals or how much she got. And also, just today we saw a man die because he was trying to ration his own insulin.
Oh,
this is happening to famous people, to poor people, to people. People are taking Ubers to hospitals.
Well, yeah, you get a GoFundMe request every day, and you want to help, but really our healthcare system needs to GoFundMe.
Yeah.
That's so good.
We have the money.
There we go. Coming up on DBL, I scream, you scream, we all scream for lower prices. Thought I was going to go somewhere else, didn't you? We've got a hot bargain on this ice cream maker in our DBL Deal Blast. And can you guess the road sign, the strangest traffic signals around when we come back? So I forgot that one of our camera guys, Ira, has funny jokes all the time. Tori, listen to this.
I'm very sorry. I'm very sorry.
So he came up to me at the break and he goes, hey, next time you guys talk about the manhole thing, be like, oh, Tori, you want to change your name to Tori Man Person? Or Tori Show Person. Yeah, I screwed it up.
That's funny, though.
That is funny.
Ira gave me that joke.
I don't really care about manhole. Again, that doesn't bother me. It's when it has anything to do with ambition.
Give Ira some credit over there.
Ira,
I just told you a joke, but I screwed it up, but it was still funny.
Oh, yeah, there was no time.
I forgot about it.
No, I
forgot about it.
Honestly, Jeff, that's why comedians don't want people telling their jokes the next day. Because they kill it. And at work, they're like, and then he said something like, women shouldn't vote. And they're like, that's not funny at all. It's like, I think I'm telling it wrong. But now people think that's your act. Like, I don't know this dude.
He massacred myself.
I was trying to give credit to Ira.
That's hilarious.
Yeah, exactly.
That's hilarious.
Do you guys realize you've gotten Star Trek emails every day for the last year and change?
What does that mean? Star Trek?
Yeah.
From who?
Alex. He does Star Trek themed emails about us being live every day. Sorry, I'm gonna step in front of the camera. This is magic.
We don't read our emails.
No, I was telling them the host would actually bring that up, that they get Star Trek emails every day, but they don't check their emails, so they have no idea that everybody in the studio gets it every day.
You don't even know your password to get into DBL.
You've never been on your computer.
open your computer.
Your computer.
I sit next to you. It's not even hooked up. It's not plugged in. Sometimes he'll plug in his DJ tables before he'll even turn in his computer.
And what's the funny part is
Before
we
he turns
spent
on it, he's never
2
turned it on.
days of computer training at the beginning of the
He
show.
never went on.
If I feel overwhelmed, I shut down. They're like, turn your computer on. I'm like, I'm out.
Hit the goodbye.
All right, cram it down my throat.
Welcome back to DBL. Many of us hit the road during the summer for a good old-fashioned road trip.
Nobody. But do you know all the rules of the road? We're going to have a little fun and play a game called Guess That Road Sign and play along with us at home. You guys ready?
Yes.
All right, here we go. Here's our first one.
Make sure the prompter doesn't say it.
No photography
no flashing
area.
lights ahead.
No photography area.
It's scenic.
Yeah.
It's a scenic area.
Yeah, that's what you said. Photography area.
Paparazzi.
Take it. Pull over and take a picture.
Oh, really? All right. Let's see what it is. Picture in
picture of you.
Those are the bad pictures.
Oh, it's the bad picture. Going in red light.
The police paparazzi.
Thank you.
All right. All right. Let's get to the next one. It's going to go down to one lane.
No, those are still two lanes. There's an impediment in the middle, so they're working in the middle, but there's still two lanes, and then that's going to come together. They're fixing the middle of the highway, but you can still go on both sides of it. How can you not? If there's a cup here, you can go around it. Well, Erica's looking at me crazy.
I think that.
What's your answer?
I thought it was just someone squatting. That's what it sort of looked like.
You have an answer? Oh, road narrows. That's what I said.
Yeah, you did say that.
I said that.
No, you made up a whole thing.
I had a coffee cup analogy.
Going around a coffee cup. All right, let's see another one.
Oh, there is no circle.
What?
The circle of life.
There's no line through it.
There's
Traffic circle. Traffic circle ahead.
Traffic circle ahead.
Stop saying what Al says.
Yes.
What do you think?
Especially when it's definitely wrong.
I was going to say traffic circle.
All right, let's.
But I've never seen.
But I don't think that's it. Oh.
But don't they have the parts where it juts off? They kind of
have little parts.
Yeah, I've never seen that sign in my life.
You don't drive.
Okay.
Yes, you really don't.
Let's see.
Oh, it's a beautiful scenery ahead.
No, there's those
That's
first
outlook. A scenic place coming
Those
up.
city people, the conveyor, the surveyors.
Oh,
yes.
I thought it was a vista.
I'm still going with outlook. Scenic outlook. What do you think?
There's a
I'm
surveyor.
going to go with you, Scenic.
I think it's a telescopic. Maybe.
There's a survey crew ahead.
Oh, okay.
Who brings a telescope out to the middle of the side of the highway?
It's a good place to peep in celebrity windows.
And wouldn't it be pointed up? Who looks straight out with a telescope?
What if you're on a vista?
Very nice. Good. Thank
Could
you,
use
Dad.
the word
Thank you.
All right, let's see another one.
Binoculars.
Well done, Tori.
This is out
That's
point.
a scenic.
There's that Michigan education.
That's a scenic. We've been in.
That's a scenic area.
That's a final exam at UM. What?
That's the scenic. Wildlife viewing.
That's scenic.
What? Okay, but that is specifically for animals up ahead. Like when I went to Mount Evans, the Spyway, they had that sign for the sheep bighorn that were at the summit.
The sheep bighorn. I'm Yoda too. All right, that was wonderful. Coming up on DBL, we're helping you look fabulous with this necklace letter or letter necklace. See what I did there? The incredible savings next in DBL Deal Blast.
Did y'all hear that? We got a code 6131. Did you guys hear that? I just heard 61. Yes, that's the beauty police showing up, y'all. I hear that loud and clear. And today we're talking about y'all's nasty brushes at home that you're not cleaning. Let's get real for a second, guys. Cleaning your brushes are so important. I have met so many women who are breaking out, who have a lot of different issues, who think their makeup's breaking them out. And a lot of the time I have to go back to that one simple question. Do you clean your makeup brushes? And guess what that answer is? No. I don't know how to. Girl, what you mean you don't know how to? Do you clean yourself? Do you clean out a hairbrush? Do you clean off anything? Do you wash your forks? Do you wash your clothes? So, if you're washing all these other things in the world, why wouldn't you wash a makeup brush that's touching your face every day? You nasty. Now, we're gonna go ahead and back this up. I'm gonna go ahead and make sure that we are all educated and know how to clean our makeup brushes so everyone has a fair chance at being a clean, beautiful person going forward. Everyone's beautiful, by the way, but y'all need to be clean. However, going back to basics, let's start with Dish Dawn soap. It's as easy as that, y'all. Dish Dawn soap. If it's safe to use on penguins, it can be used on your makeup brushes too. Now, how do we do this, you ask? All right, I'll let you know. You go ahead and you take a makeup brush, right? It's nice and dirty, all freak nasty, whatever you want to do. Okay, shout out to Megan Thee Stallion. Hey, girl. It's all nasty and dirty and whatnot. You go ahead and take your little dollop of shampoo or your brush cleaner or your Dish Dawn soap, as easy as that, $2.99 at King Soopers. Rub it all up in your hand, get it all nice and filled up and lathered up with that soap, right? Take some cool to warm water, lukewarm if you may, and rinse it underneath the faucet. Yeah, it's as easy as that, y'all. Rinse it underneath the faucet until it looks nice and clean. You ain't got no more.
DBL Nation, get up off your couches because it's time for DBL Deal Blast! That's right, we've teamed up with MorningSave.com to bring you the lowest prices on the hottest products. And here to help us out is our beauty model, Miss Denise Flynn.
Ooh, the pressure's on. Good to see you, Brandon.
The pressure's on for the low, but you always bring the great deals.
I have so many great deals for you today.
All right, you ready to get this started?
Let's do it.
All right, Denise, when I'm going to give a gift, it needs to be classy and it has to be high quality. And these right here look right up my alley.
I bring them both to you. Look at the D. I'm wearing it myself. Savvy C 18-karat gold-plated 1.5-inch large initial necklaces. Absolutely beautiful initial necklaces that offer in every single letter of the alphabet. Now, they're sure to turn heads. They're classy and beautiful. 18-karat plated for long-lasting, beautiful luster.
Ooh, 18-karat. That sounds like it's going to be a little expensive. So how much is this going to run me?
Normally, it would run you as much as $98, but today only $25. Doing the happy dance, up to 74% off in savings.
Denise, you know, it takes a lot of effort for me to dress this well all the time. So what do you have for me that's going to keep me looking sharp?
C'est la vie, Duo Press. HS100 steamer and iron. It's available in gold and silver. It features a ceramic-coated self-heating ironing plate and 1,150 watts of powerful steam. And there are two modes, steamer or dry iron, and you can just use it horizontally or vertically. So the new anti-drip technology keeps you safe while steaming, and this includes 3 accessories: water cup, travel bag, and brush attachment.
You can steam and iron at the same time. I know this is going to be expensive. How much are we talking?
Take it on the go. Normally as much as $100, but today $49.
49?
Savings up to 51% off.
Oh my gosh, 51. All right, so move on to this next one because, Denise, I'm a busy guy and I love anything that saves me a little time. Now, this next product can help anyone who's always rushing to get out of the house, right?
Okay, this one deserves a hip bump. Are you ready? Boom!
Already?
It's the 2-pack Gaga Goods Wi-Fi smart plugs. G-Home Smart Plug works with Alexa and Google to add voice control to any outlet. You can schedule lights, you can schedule fans, appliances to turn on and off automatically, or you can control them remotely when you're away. Simple to set up and simple to use. Just plug in, open the G-Home app, and start using your voice. It's that easy. Compact design keeps your second outlet free.
Well, you gave me a hip bump before you started explaining, so I know it's going to be a low price. How much are we talking?
That's true. Normally, it could run for 2 as much as $100.
Ooh.
But today, because we're at Daily Blast Live, Deal Blast, get 2 for $25, savings up to 75% off.
75% off. Can we hit bump? Because we said 2. Absolutely. Now, let's move over to this last one because I've been eyeing this. And you know what, Denise? I don't know if I told you or not, but I pride myself in being the best uncle ever. Hashtag Uncle Brandon. But even I need to step my game up. So this next item looks perfect for me to treat the nieces and the nephews.
This is Yum Yum from a Tum Tum West Bend soft serve ice cream machine. You can actually make delicious ice cream that the entire family will enjoy from home. It's a powerful electric motor mixes ice cream consistently for smooth, creamy results. It's easy to use. Even your nieces and nephews would like to do this with you. Its design actually lets you dispense your creation right from the machine into a cup or even a cone.
Oh my gosh, this is perfect for summer nights. How much is this going to run?
Okay, normally as high as $60, but now it's $29.
29.
We're talking savings up to 52% off.
50% off.
Yes.
You know one thing, I love it, but now I can't go home back to Virginia without it. My nieces and nephews don't expect me to bring it.
You can buy it because it's so low.
Oh, absolutely. And if you all love these prices, go ahead and head on over to morningsave.com to snag these amazing products at the low prices that we were just talking about. And you can even visit morningsave.com on your smartphone. And ladies and gentlemen, can we get another round of applause for Miss Denise?
Thank you.
We'll be right back.
Promotional consideration.
I am Patty Donnelly, and I am the Senior Supervising Producer at Daily Blast Live. I manage the show and the staff, and I oversee creative and help pick the stories. And I also help by just using my past experience to better produce pieces and content on the show. A typical day at DBL for me starts at 6:30 in the morning, and that is super early. So it generally starts with me hitting snooze 4 times, and then going to Starbucks, and then rolling in at 6:30 on the dot. Whew, it's hard. And in the morning, when we come in, is my first meeting of the day. It's at 6:30, and it's the creative content meeting, and it's with just 4 other producers, and then Chris Clark, the executive producer of the show, and myself. And basically, we hear what stories are going on, what has been happening overnight, what the news is, and we start planning the show and what we're gonna put in it and what stories we care about. It's actually my favorite time of the day. It's really fun, and it's my favorite thing ever, which kind of sucks that it's like in the morning, because after that, then there's nothing to look forward to, but I love that meeting. Since it's such a small group, we laugh a lot and tell a lot of jokes, and just come up with some really great ideas because of it, and it's really awesome. What I like best about working at DBL as opposed to other shows is that we have a really cool culture here, and it is a lot different from when I worked in LA, meaning we put the show above, you know, we care about the show, we want the show to do well, but we don't put it above ourselves. And that's something that a lot of times in LA, you sacrifice a lot to make sure the show is awesome. And here we, I think, almost have our priorities in balance a little more, and we laugh a little bit more because of it.
Welcome back to DBL. Since we were having so much fun with the road signs, we got one more. Erica, pay attention. We want you to get this one. Here we go.
Oh.
Is that Pac-Man?
No, you're an invisible square.
Oh. Erica, give a good one. I've never seen that sign in my life.
Wait, can we go back real quick? What is
No.
Is that a real thing?
We need to see it again.
Yeah, we need to see it again.
There's a park and
perforated roads.
What the heck? All right. I mean, that's about as good a guess as Pac-Man. Let's see what it is. It means take in the views for a scenic driving tour commonly seen in national parks.
I said park. I said national park.
You can't take credit for that.
No, buddy. No.
I did.
Why did you say park?
Because I was like, but I said because you're going to be going around in the square and not really stop.
Real quick, I want to give a shout out to Isaac Banks. It's his birthday, and he's a loyal viewer. So happy birthday, Isaac.
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday,
Go see
Isaac.
a national park.
Go to see some sights in the forest.
Drive in a square.
All right. See you guys tomorrow.